Tonight's pregame show is sponsored by Mr. Chubby's Wings. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go before the game, during the game, and after the game. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey everybody, welcome to some Saturday night football, high school style. Forget about the Friday night. Hurricane Dorian did away with that. Instead, we've got a rivalry in St. Johns County on a Saturday. They didn't want to cancel this one. They like to play it too much. Creekside Knights visiting Bartram Trail High School. Oh, they're only about 3.5 miles apart. All these kids and families pretty much up with each other. They know each other, and they said, don't cancel this game. We have a big crowd here at Bartram Trail High School, and it will still be featured as our game of the week. We're up New York Yankees baseball against the Boston Red Sox, but high school football prevails on this night, and then we'll hand off college football a little bit later on. Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan, and our game show, of course, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings. I might have even had Mr. Chubby's Wings earlier today. You fired up for this one? Thanks for working on Saturday.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do. Just hanging out today. Figured to get a little high school football.
And that's what happens when you're tired, right?
Yeah, give me something to do, enjoy it. But, yeah, it's really looking forward to this game like I did before. Since when you released the schedule in August, I really think that this will be a really good game, pretty high-scoring affair, and two real good teams, real coached teams by two real good guys.
We'll talk all about the teams and what this game means to these two high schools and what it will mean moving forward. They wanted to get it in. Keep in mind, Hurricane Dorian forced the postponement of school on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much across the area, here in St. Johns County as well. That means to play on Saturday night, these guys had to get one practice in on Friday. That was it. Let's get our keys to the game. Brought to you by Honda at the Avenues. Lusab Honda at the Avenues. Jack's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. What do you got tonight, Coach?
Well, for Creekside, I know they must take advantage of what Bartram gives them on offense. Be able to check out of some of the bad stuff they may get into, change up the run with the pass. Defensively, they've got to tackle better than last week. They gave up 600 yards last week, 51 points, but 5 plays over 50 yards. And then they need to play loose. I don't believe they've ever had a chance to beat these guys. Got to do what they do. So that's Creekside right there. Now, on the other side, Bartram's got to continue to develop the offensive game plan, be balanced on the run-pass stuff. Bartram must be solid. I think they'll change up some coverage things from what they've done in the past, and then they've got to win in the game. Had a big punt return last week. So they've got to get better and win in the kicking game.
I'll keep an eye on those throughout the game. Our Lusab Honda at the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda dealer that makes you happy, or Honda at the Avenues, keys to the game between Creekside and Bartram Trail, and it should be a pretty good one. High-scoring affair is what you expect. Creekside, it's kind of a barometer game for Creekside because growth of this program with Sean McIntyre, he's been 4-6 the last couple years, off to a great start at 2-0 a week ago, beating Nice 58-51 in comeback fashion, and now you can see why we think there'll be a lot of points on the scoreboard. Bartram can always score it, right. And 58-51 a week ago for Nice and Creekside.
Yeah, well, the thing with what's interesting talking to Coach McIntyre, last year they started at 4-1 and then finished in 6th. Quarterback got hurt, who's now up at Navy, Tia Latavy. But the thing that Coach McIntyre told me was when he got there basically 2.5 years ago, they 31 kids in their weightlifting team, and out of that group of 31 that were 9th and 10th graders, there's 5 kids that are seniors. There's 10 seniors total, but only 5 that have been in the program all 3 years. So he's got it going in the right direction. He's the type of program that Coach Sutherland has been for 20 years, the only coach at this school in the history of this school, and just tremendous person, tremendous coach. Great role models for young people right here today, both these coaches.
Absolutely. We got the coin toss as captains come across from their respective sideline, midfield, and we'll see who gets the ball first and who wants to defend. But, again, this is a handshake that these guys have made plenty of times. In fact, so many of these kids grew up playing on the same team as each other and have probably been rezoned several times as this growth of St. Johns County continues to happen. And here we are, Bartram Trail died. What Darryl Sutherland, the head coach of Bartram Trail, called a clean rivalry.
Clean rivalry, played every time they've had the opportunity to play. But again, these kids have all grown up with each other through the Pop Warner organization, through the communities. I mean, really, the communities are like sort of last week's game. It was Julie and Fernandina. Julie's about 5-8 miles. This is like 3.5 miles. So all these guys are intermingled, different things. So it's going to be a great one tonight. Real excited for it.
Yeah, I live down in St. Johns County, Coach. There's pressure on me. Don't get anybody's name wrong because I'll probably be at the pool with them in a couple of days.
I'm sure I will.
As we continue to get the coin toss, the flip right now. Darryl Sutherland, 2 years at this program. I mean, what a remarkable program. The story, the players that have gone through here, the culture that he's built, the hospitality we have for our game of the week. This place is beautiful here at Bartram Trail.
Well, they do it. You know, they've done it the right way over the years, and they've got 150 kids in their program. They have a sort of a feeder freshman team that sort of a club team, sort of what you say. Then they have freshman football. Then there's about 20, 30 guys that they're sort of their developmental team. So he's done a good job over the years of keeping all his kids around.
Bartram Trail will play a lot of sophomores. They're young. Sophomores and juniors. They'll even play a freshman quite a bit. They'll rotate quarterbacks. Chad Dotson coming off an ACL. He'll be in the game. Brody Davis will play some a little bit. He's coming off an injury, a labrum injury to his non-throwing arm. But these guys are healthy, and they'll play a bunch. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have kickoff from St. Johns County. Our Game of the Week, Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Right after this, that's your Mr. Chubby's Wings pregame show. Kickoff coming next.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media station.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Tonight's pregame show is sponsored by Mr. Chubby's Wings. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go before the game, during the game, and after the game. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Our Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690. And if you're listening on your radio or on ESPN690.com as well, we want to let you know we've got a video feed. Marcel Robinson will be manning the camera tonight. And you can see the game as well and hear it on all the social media platforms. Check us out on Facebook, on Action Sports Jax, or on ESPN 690. You can see us on our YouTube channel on Action Sports Jax, on my Twitter handle at Brent A.S. Jax. You know what, Coach? We even do this Twitch thing, whatever that is. I think people play like video games and stuff, but you can also watch this football game on Twitch. So check it out, the video side of things, and you get the audio, of course, on ESPN 690 and on ESPN690.com, plus the TuneIn app. We're all over the place, just like we are, 3 to 6 every Monday through Friday. And we'll be talking about this game and a Jags game coming up this week on Monday. Yes, so an exciting football weekend as Creekside takes the field. Bartram Trail already out there, and we're ready for our Game of the Week kickoff just moments away. Brent Martineau, along with the Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan, spent some time at Jackson, Atlantic Coast, and most recently at Ed White. Still teaching. You got a couple of days off, so you're fresh. You're ready, right?
Yeah, we had a one-day work week this week. I like that thing now. I was sort of practicing my retirement,
That's right. Hopefully you kept busy. Hopefully everybody stayed safe. And our thoughts and prayers, of course, with everybody in the Bahamas and everybody north of us that really took the brunt of Hurricane Dorian. It's the reason why we're having this game on a Saturday night. We appreciate you checking it out. But, of course, a lot of thoughts with the folks in the Bahamas. We'll have a convoy of care with Action News Jackson, our Cox Media radio group as well, on Tuesday from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the St. John's Town Center. And anything you can do to provide supplies to the fine folks of the Bahamas would be more than welcome. More information on that on actionnewsjax.com. We're about ready to play some football. Creekside in their visiting whites, and they will kick off. Bartram Trail in the dark unis today. Blue numbers, silver helmets, and Andrew Darajati will do the honors to get us going here on a Saturday night. Only game in town, I think, Coach.
Yeah.
Actually, Columbia's playing at 7:30 tonight as well.
Yeah, I don't think there was a big group this week. I think there were 4 games last night.
Oh, the schedule's been shuffled around for sure. All of Duval County, even our game of the week next week has been pushed around a little bit as well. Darek Jati with a squib kind of kickoff picked up at the 10-yard line by Bartram Trail, and it's a big-time return across the 40 in midfield, and he might go down the near sideline now, and look at him go. He certainly will go. It's A.J. Jones, the running back, also a kick return specialist, and how about that start? We said high score and a fair, Coach, and we've got a 90-yard kickoff return right off the rip. Bartram Trail up 6.
I tell they did a pretty good job of blocking on that up front, the guys up front, but Jones hit that. You know, Jones scored 24 touchdowns last year as a sophomore and has done a really good job this year. Real electric, not a real big kid, but boy, he saw the seam right there, hit it, bounced it outside, the kicker missed, and he was in the house.
Yeah, he's got a nice blocking up front, found a hole, and then the speed kills. A.J. Jones, you'll hear his name quite a bit in this one. Trevez Johnson will also do some punt return, kick return duties, a little bit of everything. The outstanding corner that's committed to Florida. So they've got some dangerous weapons once they get in the open field, and you just saw it from A.J. Jones. The 2-0 Bartram Trail Bears off to a good start with the first strike. Only 12 seconds into this one. Get ready, Mr. Scoreboard Operator.
Yeah, the cannon guy wasn't even ready. He was late with the cannon going off. He wasn't ready to put the fire in there and pull that cord. So we got it going. What are they doing? Replaying it? Make sure you didn't step out of bounds.
Here's the deal. I think Darryl Sutherland has built such a culture here. They know exactly what to do. They made sure that cannon went off before they get lined up for the extra point.
Right. I've seen that happen, too. I've seen the cannon go off on a 2-point play one year that I was the benefit of. They went for 2, and the kid caught it. They pulled the cannon, he dropped it, and we won the game in overtime. So not a good snap.
I'm sure he's not laughing right on that one. That, of course, for Bartram Trail is Will Gregg, the place kicker, and he knocks it through. So it's 7-0. Bartram Trail just like that. Well,
there's still people. How many people lined up missed that first score, still trying to get in? There was a big load of cars coming in at about 5:30 when I got in outside coming that way. But I told you, I think that, in a game like this where you don't get to practice a lot, you don't want to start that way.
No.
You know, you want to get your kids into the flow of the game and everything like that. So to put yourself back behind, you just got to get your kids back in. It's a long game. You can't be too excited about, hey, we gave up the touchdown. We got to come back, play defense. Get our offense up on the field and get going.
Well, you said it, too, the one day of practice. What does that do? You coach a lot of years. You've been coaching for 30-plus years. That's tough. I know they wanted to get the game in, but it's also you got to be a bit careful of that because you don't know what it's going to look like. Yeah, the teams are familiar. You want to get a game in. Hey, let's not lose sight of this is a big gate. We're going to have a couple thousand people here. That's big for a high school football program at Bartram Trail. They didn't want to lose that game.
No, financially you don't want to lose the game. And again, the kids don't want to not play this game either, too. So I think the coaches did the best they could try to get it together and put a good product on the field at short notice.
They saw this coming, by the way, about 10 days ago, and they said, hey, we are going to do all we can to make sure we play. Our kids want to play your kids, and let's make it happen. So here we are. Now at that time, Greg will kick it off, and that one goes into the end zone. So we will not have a back-and-forth track meet right off the rip. Instead, Creekside will get it. The football as the ball goes out of the end zone.
Well, the thing when I talked to Coach McIntyre, he brought them in. They start school a little later in St. John's, like 9:15. So they came in at, I think, 7 o'clock on Friday morning, went about an hour and a half. And then the kids went to school, and then they came back, had their regular practice, and he was going to bring them in a little earlier today, sort of get things on. But they're both. It's both teams. It's not like a team got an extra practice, so they both got to. You just got to get going. You got to play, and whatever happens, happens.
Hey, bear with us a little bit. We're looking right into the evening sun here in St. Johns County. But Quinn Seeger will line up in the shotgun. 6 touchdowns a week ago. He was tremendous. He fakes the handoff, rolls right. The left-handed quarterback looks to
Ball's
be
on the
sacked,
ground.
and there's a fumble on the play, and I think Bartram Trail's got it. 2 plays into this game, Bartram Trail has a kickoff return touchdown, and also they force a fumble and recover it. Bartram Trail, Evans Eilers is able to recover the fumble, and wow, the Bears are in business early in this one.
Well, that's definitely not how you want to start the game, your first offensive play. The quarterback comes off the read and takes off running, and ball gets stripped out of his hand. Bartram's rolling now. They'll probably take a shot right here, go after it, try to get in the end zone right away, try to put this thing away early. But I'll tell you what's interesting about both these teams is they're going to be really coached well. Coach Sutherland's done a really good job over the years, and Coach McIntyre's trying to build a program. The same as Quarterback run.
Dotson
Sorry.
out of the shotgun and then a draw and takes it up for about 6-7 yards. So Bartram Trail's in really good shape here, right around the 10-yard line. They'll set up a second and 4 or 5 to go as they will run fast, up-tempo offense. Dotson coming off an ACL injury, really a good-looking quarterback. In fact, he tore his ACL in this game a year ago. Takes a shotgun pass, quick swing out to his right. It's complete, and inside the 10-yard line, close to the 5-yard line, it'll be a 1st and goal for Bartram Trail as they are in business trying to go up 2 scores less than a couple minutes into this game.
That was Jackson Mayer, the big tight end, highly recruited tight end with the catch. He's averaged about 9 yards a catch this year coming out.
Mayer's going to Robert Morris. He's a senior and probably not talked about enough. In motion, Bartram Trail goes out of the shotgun again. Handoff to Jones. Jones bounces it now to the outside, and Jones will walk into the end zone. He just scored on a 90-yard kickoff return. He bounced that one out to the left, and he scores again. They take advantage of the early turnover. Bartram Trail up 2 touchdowns in the first minute 17 of this game.
I said nobody does as good a job as what they do on offense with all this, what I call the skies motion. You know, they move guys and change guys, and it's a lot of window dressing, as they call it. What they came off with, it looked like a little fake jet sweep and handed it back on the little inside zone play, and Jones scored. Took that thing inside and bounced it outside. Got a little decent movement. Good job up front by the O-line. Not a bad job up there by those guys up front, led by center Ryan Perzira.
Right.
He's been all over the field for this team. He's played on defense. Now he's back playing center again. So
Greg knocks it through again, and 14-0 is the score. 1 minute and 17 seconds into this game. You mentioned the offensive line, Coach, as Bartram Trail goes up 14-0 with 10:43 to go in the first quarter. Right off the rip of this one, the Bears are in business. Keep in mind, too, Creekside gave up 51 a week ago, so they are scratching their head on defense, although it was a special teams touchdown that started it, and then a short field for their defense on that possession after the quick turnover. But you mentioned the offensive line. Jacob Ott, 6'7", 275 at left tackle for Bartram, getting a lot of looks too now because he's grown a few inches, and now he's 6'7". Eli Safar, he's a junior. He played defense last year. He switched over multiple positions. Ryan Pearsa, you mentioned. Jack Spells and Hunter Hartzell. And keep an eye on Nick Maccabee. What a nice story he is.
We'll get into that story a little bit into the game.
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date on that story. But he missed a year and a half with back injuries after playing every snap as a sophomore, and he is working his way back. It's a nice story to follow. Number 60 for Bartram Trail, Nick Maccabee on the offensive side of things on their offensive line. Well, the next kickoff by Greg, they have no chance because this guy's just kicking it right into the end zone. And once again, Creekside will start over from their own territory. They got to hang on to the ball, though. That was a quick turnover on the first possession.
One thing Bartram's done over the years is they play eight or nine offensive linemen a game. They'll play the older guys, and they'll mix some of the younger guys in, and it's really developed. I've been involved in some programs. We had 5 offensive line, and their 6th guy played D-line.
That's right.
So they've been able to develop their kids year in and year out, which is really impressive.
Well, Quinn Seeger brings his offense back out onto the field now, and first play was a turnover as Seeger tried to scramble with the football. So let's see if they can do a little bit better here on the second possession. It's a handoff to Preston Strope, and he's pretty much bottled up after no gain by the Bartram Trail defense.
Yeah, Bartram, they're going to be running to the football. That's one thing. Keith Comwell, the D coordinator, he was here before for a few years, then left, went down to Matanzas, was the head coach, and now he's back. But they're going to give you some 3-man front, some 4-man front, and they're going to really run to the ball. That's one thing, and they're going to tackle.
Probably lost a yard on the play, so let's call it 2nd and 11 from their own 19. Second possession for Creekside, only the 3rd play of the game for them. Wide receivers, 2 to the right. Strope in the backfield. Handoff to Strope, goes right, but he gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets forward to the line of scrimmage or the 20, but not much doing for Creekside on offense.
No, they're closing up the gaps, squeezing in there real nice inside. They're getting good push. Bo Shields, Philip Burnett inside, Sigary Graham. They're getting a good push on the Creekside offensive line.
All right, sets up a 3rd and long now. No gain on the play, so 3rd and 11 from their own 19-yard line. Seeger threw it a bunch last week, and his favorite target is Jack Goodrich. So keep an eye on number 10 if you're watching the video feed here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690's Game of the Week. You can find the video on the social media channels. And we have a flag. Delay. I think it's a delay of game, so it will set up a more difficult 3rd and 16. So obviously a little out of sync, and you got to go back to practice a little bit, right?
Well, a little bit out of sync, but they also, they have a new center. Their starting center got hurt last week, and he's out. So now you take the right guard, Hunter Jones, to the starting center spot, and Quinn Galen is playing at the right guard. But so that could be an issue too, because you've had no time for him to get ready to play, and all of a sudden yesterday he's the starting center moving from guard, which is a lot different.
JoJo Lima will not play in this game, usual starting center. Okay, 4 wide receiver set now, 2 on each side of Quinn Seeger. Preston Strope back there in the shotgun with Seeger. Quick little swing pass, but it's knocked down and incomplete, and Bartram Trail has been all over things. Special teams, offense, and defense. Creekside will have to punt.
Yeah, with Segri Graham coming down off the edge, got those big paws up.
A big fella.
That ball. Yeah, good-sized kid, moves very well. But, again, they were trying to get a quick slant. They had the coverage they wanted to get in, but Graham came off the edge and batted that thing away.
So nothing doing on offense early for Creekside. Keep in mind, though, they were down 17-0 in the first quarter to Nice a week ago, and they forced that tremendous rally in the second half to win 58-51. So
right.
They won't blink on the offensive end.
Yep, I agree
now
with
in the punt formation. Earl Thresher will do a lot of the punting for Creekside. He's also a defensive back and safety. He gets this one away, and it's going to land in Creekside territory. There's a flag on the play as well. The ball bounces out of bounds.
Yeah,
we'll see what the officials have to say.
I think we're going to either get holding or illegal use of hands on the return team.
Well, Creekside would like that if that's the call, because they could use a little bit more help with the field position. Right now the ball sits around the 40-yard line of Creekside, so it's only about a 21-yard punt for Thresher. Early on here, 9:11 to go in the first quarter. I mean, we're a couple minutes into this thing, and it's 14-0 in favor of Bartram Trail. If you're just jumping in, the penalty is against Bartram Trail, so that will march them back a little bit. If you're just jumping in here on our Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690, Bartram Trail got the opening kickoff, and A.J. Jones went 90 yards down the sideline for the first score. Then after a fumble on first play by Seeger of Creekside, Bartram recovers. A.J. Jones scores a few plays later, so he's got 2 touchdowns. It's 14-0, just about 2 minutes and 49 seconds into this one between the crosstown rivals in St. Johns County, Creekside and Bartram Trail.
Yeah, Creekside breathe a little bit there, get a little breathing room. They're going to back that up at about 10 yards. So instead of being on their side of the field, they're going to be on the Bartram side. Oh, it was a face mask. They called 15-yard personal foul face mask. On that. Must have been one of the up guys blocking one of the gunners down on the punt team. So this will basically be our really first real look of Bartram, not counting the short field drive that we're going to see. Now, Bartram will give you a lot of different formations. They'll give you some 3-by-1. They'll give you some 2-by-2. They'll give you some empty.
Oh, here we go. Dotson in the game. In the shotgun. Jones next to him. Gets the snap, drops back, has some time, now moves to his left, scrambles around, and I think he kind of just threw it out of bounds to try to get the incomplete pass, but did he step out of bounds first? I think they do call an incomplete pass. Smart play by Dotson to be able to just throw it away rather than take a 2 or 3 yard loss. Nice job by Creekside's defense.
Yeah, real good job. They tried to sneak the back out down on the wheel, and the outside backer did a nice job of disrupting Jones on that play, trying to get him out. Jones has been effective as a receiver this year, too. So he's had a couple touchdowns as the receiver coming out of the backfield. So, again, Bartram's going to give them a lot of different looks, a lot of different formations. They're going to call pretty much everything at the line. Neither of these teams are going to huddle much. So, they took it back. They didn't call it incomplete.
Okay, so he did step out of bounds. 2nd and 13 now for Bartram Trail. In the shotgun again is Dotson. Hands off to Jones. Jones goes right, slips a tackle, and now gets out to the 45-yard line. And Jones off to a heck of a start in this football game. He gains 8 yards.
Yeah, he did a really good job there. He sort of kept it outside, made the outside backer miss, stuck his foot in the ground, went north and south on that play. So 36, Jake Spiller's down on the tackle.
And there we go, 2nd and 5 now. 3rd and 5, excuse me. His little swing pass to A.J. Jones on the left side. And he crosses midfield, picks up the first down, knocked out of bounds about the 48-yard line of Creekside. So that was pretty simple right there on a 3rd and 6 play. Bartram Trail able to pick it up.
Yeah, they just flare the back, and the wideouts just start blocking, and they get it to him and let their playmaker make a play. And Jones makes a guy miss and turns the corner and gets the first down. So we got to change. Jones coming out for a breather.
Well, he's done enough early on, hasn't he? He's got two touchdowns, picked up a first down, picked up another 8-yard play. He's doing everything so far. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left for Bartram Trail at the 46-yard line of Creekside. Dotson gets a snap, quick throw out to the left, and he is met very quickly for a yard gain maybe. Creekside defended that nicely.
Right, they brought in the little sophomore, Eric Weatherly, who, again, junior is the starter, and then the sophomore comes in, who's caught 2 touchdown passes out of the backfield, so they don't really miss a beat. They talk he can run pretty good, Weatherly.
Handoff now to Weatherly, who stays in the game. And nice job by Creekside there as they were in the backfield. Quickly.
Now, that looked like Terrell Maxwell on the play right there on the tackle right there for Creekside, playing at the little outside linebacker defensive end spot. Coach McIntyre said they were going to give him a little different look. They played a lot of 4-man down last week, and they wanted to give him a little 3-man, try to confuse him and everything.
An official timeout now as third down is set up around the 47-yard line of Creekside. It'll be 3rd and 11 for Bartram Trail. Creekside's defense doing a pretty nice job here on this possession.
Yeah, big stop for them. This is a big play for them right here. It's 3rd and 11.
I think we're going to get an official timeout for a water break, even though it's 7:47 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout to our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week here from St. Johns County. Bartram Trail leads it 14-0 over Creekside.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Here we go. Welcome back to St. Johns County. Our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week, 3rd and 11 for Bartram Trail from the Creekside 47. And Dotson gets a snap, rolls right, has a receiver. First down territory. It's going to be close. It's caught right around an 11-yard pickup. And we'll see where the officials spot it. But I would say Bartram might go for it even if they don't get it.
Yeah, I think they will anyways. They're going to hurry up and get up on the ball anyway, so they're going to get going. And Creekside's trying to get personnel in and out of the game and stay fresh on 4th down.
4th down and 1. Zach Rhodes with the reception, picked up 10. Here's the snap. Quick toss back out to the right side, near sideline, and that will be caught and for a first down and out of bounds. So Preston Dotson able to pick up the first down as the operation for Bartram Trail is quick, it's precise, and it's effective.
Yeah, I think they just take what they give them, and that's the beauty of what they're doing. They're not overly going fast, but that little quick pass out to the flat is sort of what's replaced the sweep in high school football.
There we go, shotgun once again for Dotson in at quarterback, 2 receivers to his left. Another quick throw out. That one will fall incomplete off the fingertips of his receiver. So
yeah,
bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, they just ran a couple quick stops, but if they're playing off in the zone coverage, they're just going to take what they give them and nickel and dime them a little bit like there. So, again, Creekside had a chance to get off the field, 3rd and 11, gave up. They got 10, but then Bartram went and got the first down. So Bartram's in control of this right now.
2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right. Dotson with a back in the backfield. And it is the handoff to Malik Joseph up the middle, picks up a couple yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, again, Creekside's really trying to rotate their guys inside because they know, with the heat and everything, they're running 3 in, 3 off every 3 plays.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left, 3rd and 7, and the quick pass is incomplete. Tried to find the slot receiver, could not do so, and it falls incomplete. Now what will Bartram Trail do because it's 4th and 6?
Yeah, I think he was trying to get that ball out there to Zach Rhodes on that one. Zach's an interesting story. Zach's a transfer from South Carolina. found his way here to Bartram.
They actually played some quarterback in the spring because of the injuries to their quarterbacks. That was actually Jackson Meyer, the tight end, instead on that one. So fourth down, 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Here's a shotgun snap to Dotson. He slips it out there, and the ball is low and dropped, and I think he was trying to hit Mayer again.
Yes, it looked like that right there. They got good pressure on there from 55, DJ McCaskis. Really good job. Getting some pressure. Again, they're changing up their fronts. They're changing their front, but they're changing their personnel to keep them fresh as the game goes on. So good job on Creekside winning that chess match.
Yeah, that's a win for Creekside there as a turnover on downs, a couple of incomplete passes on that possession as they went along. Bartram Trail turns it over on downs, and here comes Creekside's offense. 14-0 is our score. Bartram Trail jumped out to a 2-touchdown lead in the first 2 minutes of this football game, and here we are now with 6:27 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 Bartram Trail.
Yep, just where Creekside wants them, down 14. Last week they were down 17.
Creekside gets on their own 33-yard line, best field position yet. Strope goes in motion. Seeger alone tries to scramble, and it shakes one tackler. Still in the backfield, though. Now moves right, and he will not get much. He did yeoman's work just to maybe lose a yard.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, they do a good job of Bartram running to the football. If you look around, there's always 8 or 9 kids running to the ball, trying to get all their hats on the guy with the ball carrier, and that's what they've sort of done over the years with defensively, what they're trying to do, getting their guys to run to the football.
That'll be a loss of a yard and bring up 2nd and 11 from about the 32-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the left for Creekside. Strope in the backfield with Seeger. 1 receiver to Seeger's right. A left-handed quarterback gets a shotgun snap, has some pressure, gets away from 1 tackle, and now is scrambling to his right. He'll cross the line of scrimmage on the far sideline and go out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So a nice job by Seeger. He was running for his life right after the snap.
Yeah, they got good pressure off the edge right there from, it looked like Jake Cutler, 52, coming off the edge. But I should have had him in the backfield. We got a guy down. Looks like got an injury timeout.
On the far sideline, on the Creekside sideline, there is an injured Bartram Bear. And now the training staff will run across the field. Teams will go to their respective sidelines. And really difficult to tell amongst all of the people on the sideline way over there who exactly the injured player is for Bartram Trail.
Yeah, he was running that way, and then I don't know if he may have slipped on the tarp and then went down hard on his leg. It looks like he's grabbing his lower leg. He's way on the far side from us, so we're just trying to give you caught up what we're doing. But Creekside get a little bit of life on offense here, and but they seem to be trying to get going again. They've got a new center in that's playing the first game at center for the injured JoJo Lima, Hunter Jones. So hopefully they'll get a little. He's got to make the calls and what they're doing and get them going a little bit forward. So hopefully they'll get a little first down and get going a little bit here. But the Bartram defense, they're for real. That's where I thought it was going to come down. That's what it looked like on our side. So.
Well, it looks like it was Eilers who, I think, recovered the fumble early in this game, and he's walking off under his own power, hand on his hips as he comes back across the field to the Bartram Trail sideline. So I think he's okay, but we'll see if he checks back in the game. Brings up a 3rd and 7 from Creekside's 36-yard line. 5:32 to go in the first quarter. 14-0, all Bartram Trail so far. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Seeger in the shotgun once again. This time he'll roll left. He's a left-handed quarterback. Has some room to run. Instead throws the football down the field around midfield. Looks like it's caught, and it is caught.
Jalen Hines, 33.
There's Hines, the running back, who also will play in the slot for Creekside, and that's a big gain of about 15 yards and a first down. All of a sudden, Creekside moves into Bartram Trail territory for the first time.
Yeah, real good throw on the run going to the left. They ran a short out with a little deep out in behind it. Made a nice throw to Hines. Hines went down, caught the ball, and first down, got the first down of the game.
Now at the Bartram Trail 49-yard line. Creekside, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Strope in the backfield. Crosses the 48, down to the 45, up the middle, and he might have got down to the 44, greeted by a couple of tacklers from Bartram Trail. So a nice pickup on first down for the Knights.
Yeah, see, they're sort of settling in a little bit. Again, you've got a couple new starters in the offensive line for Creekside, so, you sort of got to get in the flow, what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish on defense, and sort of get in the throw and get going a little bit. Again, we know they're a slow starting team. They've been behind both the beginning of both games, the first week and the second week.
Hines split to the right, along with Goodrich, McGuff, to the left. Calhoun, the tight end, goes in motion. The snap and handoff to Strope, who's in the backfield. He might have got across the line of scrimmage for a short gain, but nothing doing there on the second down play.
No, nothing at all. Good job by the defensive end. Clark Hamilton coming in making the tackle. And also get a little push inside by Phillip Burnett. Defensive end, outside linebacker combo on that tackle.
Here we go, 3rd and 5 from the Bartram Trail 44-yard line, we'll call it. Seeger in the shotgun, slaps his hands together, now looks to the sideline. 3 receivers to the right, including the tight end Calhoun. Goodrich on the left, all by himself. Strope in the backfield, 3rd and 5. Seeger gets the snap, rolls to his right, looks to throw. Now settles his feet, directing traffic, and he finds Calhoun for a first down and a little bit more down to the 34-yard line. Nice job by Seeger to Calhoun.
Yeah, Calhoun did a good job. He was running a little inside-out route about 7 yards, and Seeger started to scramble a little bit. He sat down and worked his way back and found the hole, and he put it right on him for the first down.
We have an official timeout on the field as there's 3:34 to go in the first quarter. Bartram Trail leads at 14-0. Creekside is on the move, and we'll take a timeout as well. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Still in the first quarter. Bartram leads Creekside in a crosstown rivalry, 14-0.
The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. The rivalry continues this weekend. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks game of the week. Brent Martin along with Kevin Sullivan here in St. Johns County for a Saturday night tilt-gut move because of Hurricane Dorian, and glad to be a part of it here. Beautiful night, a great crowd here at Bartram Trail High School. The Bears lead at 14-0 over Creekside. 1st and 10 for the Knights from the Bartram Trail 34. Seeger gets the snap of the shotgun, pitches it out to Strope, but there's a fumble. Strope able to get it back, but he will be backed up for a loss of at least a handful as that play fell apart from the start.
Yeah, that didn't look good from the beginning. He fielded the snap clean. It just didn't seem like he made the right read on that, tried to pitch it. Wait till the guy got a little bit too close to pitch to him now. They got to keep their momentum going. They got to answer on this drive.
Well, that will drop them back to the 43-yard line, so a loss of 9 yards on the play once Strope went out of bounds. 2nd and 19 now from the Bartram Trail 43. Shotgun once again for Seeger, the left-handed quarterback. Slips it out to the left to Calhoun. Calhoun slips a tackle on the near sideline. He's got room to run, and he might score. 5, 4, 3, touchdown for Creekside and Calhoun. No, it's not. They'll rule him out of the 3. I tried to give it to him, Coach.
I don't know. I thought he was in from our vantage point. But I tell you, Calhoun, he's committed to East Carolina. They throw the ball to the tight end. He's a good prototype H-back. He does a lot of things, but he's also one of the leaders on the team. Coach McIntyre said last week for the first time he's been there, Seeger and Calhoun were not going to let them lose that game last week. You could just sort of see they finally had some guys up, leadership and those kind of things. So we might have a ball game here, Coach. Brent, we might have a ball game.
Coach, if you want. McIntyre, by the way, said Calhoun maybe had his best blocking game.
Yes.
Of his career last week against Nice, and that's something that goes unnoticed a lot. So 1st and goal for St. Augustine from the 4-yard line. Seeger and Strope run into each other. Seeger keeps it, still on his feet, but he will be brought down right around the line of scrimmage. So some miscommunication in the backfield for the Knights, and it will bring up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to run quarterback power with Strope as the lead blocker, but maybe Strope didn't get the right call, and it looked like he was trying to take the ball from him, so they had a little miscommunication down here.
Loss of 1 on the play, so we'll back them up to the 5-yard line. This has been a really nice drive for Creekside. Let's see if they can finish it off. 2nd down and goal, 140 and counting in the first quarter. 14-0, Bartram Trail leads it. Seeger runs out of the shotgun all the time. Strope to his right, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Here's Seeger, a left-handed quarterback, under some pressure, scrambles, unloads to Calhoun, but he unloads high, and that will be incomplete.
Yeah, I think he was just throwing that ball sort of away where the only person to catch that was Calhoun. Bartram brought the blitz up underneath inside and did a really good job of getting to him and making him uncomfortable. So it brings up a big 3rd down.
Bartram's really talented in the secondary. Craig Sinclair leads the team in tackles. Dominic Fields is getting all sorts of attention as a sophomore. Trevez Johnson going to Florida. 3rd and goal from the 5, Creekside, and they might have drawn Bartram Trail offsides as the Bears got a little aggressive.
Hold your cousin. That's what they say. Hold your cousin when they move.
And that's what it is. Half the distance to the goal line. It will bring up 3rd down from about the 2.5 is what it will set up for Creekside. Does this change the play call potentially?
No, I don't think so. I mean, you still got it's goal to go, and you only gained about 2.5 yards, so I don't think it changed it.
I'll tell you what it could change, though, is the mindset of maybe taking 2 downs to get in and going for it on 4th down.
Yep, there you're right. It looks like we've got a new center in the game. 74 just checked in, Chris Morales. I don't know if they had an equipment issue or a blood issue because they sent Hunter Jones out. So that might play into everything.
Keep an eye on that because that's now the 3rd center for Creekside. Here we go from the 2.5-yard line. 3rd and goal, 1:20 to go in the first quarter. Goodrich has been quiet so far. He's out to the left. Seeger in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls to his right. Left-handed quarterback can run it if he wants to. Looks to pass and slings a pass that's blocked and intercepted. It's picked off by Bartram Trail. They're running back the other way to the across the midfield, down to the 40, 35, 30, 25,
That's great
20.
hustle by 81.
And Bartram Trail picks it off near the goal line. We'll find out who it was, the big fella on the far sideline. There's also a flag down, but this was during the run back. Bartram Trail creates the 2nd turnover of the game for the Creekside Knights, and that was a biggie.
Yeah, that was really big. That ball got batted and picked off, but we got one way back here, Brent.
2 flags.
Yeah, way back here, and then we got one after the pick. 95, Segaree Graham, the big guy needs to get over and get some water. But I tell you what, Ryan McGuff did a great job running down from our side all the way across the field to make that tackle.
Yeah, Graham, the sophomore. That's what's so impressive about Bartram Trail. They've got sophomores littered all over the field, especially up front on that defensive line. A couple of them play, and that ball was deflected. Graham picked it off, and he ran quite a distance, but probably to no avail because Bartram Trail will keep the football. But once they shake out these penalties, they'll start way in their own end.
Yeah, I don't know about that, where that block in the back came from, because they batted the ball. That was all Bartram guys there once the ball got batted.
Yeah.
And so
it was initially right where they intercepted the ball. They call a block in the back.
Right.
And they did it again down on the other side of the field once the big return happened. But obviously this one will be the one Creekside picks up and enforces. Bartram Trail block in the back after the interception.
So they got a clip. That's what they had, 2 penalties on that play. So they took the clipping down here. Then they back them up from up there. So, again, big turnover. Creekside thought they had something going right there. They had a really nice job mixing and running the pass in. And that's just unfortunate. They try to force that ball. I thought he had a guy right at it, came out of the fake and booted out on it. I thought he had a guy right then and there, put the outside linebacker in a bind, but he just kept stretching it out a little bit. Good job by Bartram covering it up.
Easy to say from up here, but I thought he could have run it initially too, and Seeger can use his legs. So Bartram Trail takes over, up 14-0 inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Fake handoff by Dotson. He'll keep it instead up the middle, crosses the 10-yard line and picks up 2. As we tick down to the final seconds of the first quarter, Bartram Trail in control, up 14-0. They just forced a turnover as Creekside was trying to make it a one-score game. And now the Bears could close out a tremendous first quarter in the next 30 seconds.
Brody Davis is in at quarterback, which we knew that was going to happen. He's the backup.
Davis this time hands off, almost an exchange problem. And how about Jake Spillers getting in the backfield?
Yes.
He almost got the handoff, Coach. That'll be a loss of a few and probably the final play of the first quarter.
Yeah, they were trying to run a little zone read in there, and it looked like Jones was holding on to the ball while the quarterback was trying to pull it.
Well, let's see if Bartram Trail snaps it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it for the first quarter as they were lined up for a third down play. They'll get to think about it instead. A dominating first quarter for the Bartram Trail Bears. They forced 2 turnovers. They take a kickoff return on the opening kick all the way back 90 yards for a score, and they added another one. It's 14-0 after 1. Bartram Trail leads this crosstown rivalry in our game of the week on ESPN 690. 14-0 over Creekside. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this. Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of kicking the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Time for quarter number 2 here in St. Johns County, our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Not just on the radio side, you can also stream us on ESPN690.com. You can find us on the TuneIn app, and you can get video on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks, on Facebook, ESPN 690, also Action Sports Jacks. And how about I'll give you one more. If you're a YouTube user, you can check out our YouTube channel, Action Sports Jacks, for the live feed of this game. Brent Martin along with Kevin Sullivan, third and long from their own 9-yard line, and Davis is going to scramble and keep it for Bartram Trail. He has a seam. He's got a first down and then some. He's a big kid, and he took a couple of tacklers with him out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice little design run by the quarterback. They were doing something safe in there. It was third and long, doing something safe, and he did a nice job. Great job by the guys up front, the O-linemen, getting in there, opening them holes and moving guys around. We'll go up 1st and 10.
Brody Davis in the shotgun in for Chad Dotson. They'll just change out. Nobody's hurt here. And now Davis slings it to the right side, the far side, on a 1st and 10, and not much doing as Creekside defended that nicely. Maybe a gain of 1 for the Bears.
Yeah, Zach Rhodes on the reception out there, number 12. They do a good job of spreading the ball. Everybody gets a few touches, keeps everybody happy. That's what they do a real nice job. The thing that impresses me is they bring the backup quarterback in on like the 6-yard line. Who does that? That's what's remarkable about that Coach Sutherland. He expects all his guys to step up and play.
So here we go, 2nd and 8 now from their own 31-yard line. Bartram Trail working right to left, and the whistle blows. See if there's a flag.
We have movement. The slot receiver on the left moves, lean forward before the snap.
That'll back Bartram Trail up 5 yards, make it 2nd and 13.
Yeah, false start there. It looked like 21 on that Weatherly. So, again, everybody else is pretty much the same personnel, except they change quarterbacks. Offensive line, they'll rotate. They'll play 8 or 9 guys during the course of the game and do a really good job with their program as far as that, getting guys in, playing them.
2nd and let's call it 14 now. And Davis pitches it out to Jones. Jones has it, shakes the tackler. Now
he might be
near
gone.
Sideline.
He's going to be
That's
gone.
Weatherly actually with it, and he's gone down to the 30, the 25, 15. Nobody will catch him, and Eric Weatherly has a touchdown.
It's
and
coming
once
back.
again, a big play for Bartram Trail. You see a flag down?
Yeah, we got a
Yes,
flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Weatherly just danced down there.
Holding.
Another big mistake by Bartram, back-to-back penalties, and this one will wipe out a touchdown by Eric Weatherly. That's a young man we've been hearing about for a long time down here in St. Johns County, even at the middle school level. You heard his name, and the sophomore, you just showed it off. Despite the hold and no touchdown, he made that look easy.
I'll tell you what, both those backs are really good. They're sort of interchangeable. They sort of look alike, too, as far as height-wise from up here.
Yeah, they got running styles, everything.
But, I mean, they're into this different package with both those guys in the backfield at the same time, and both of them can explode and take it the distance anytime they touch the ball. And then you got the big power back as Brody Davis, the quarterback, who's sort of like the prototype big back, and then you got the 2 scat backs in the game here. So Man, that was a big break for Creekside, but I'm really impressed with both those young kids.
Here's the deal, Coach. What they have to do now is Creekside has to button up Bartram Trail here. This would be devastating. 2nd and 23. Bartram Trail. Brody Davis swings it left, and that's a drop pass by Jones on the quick swing. So that will set up 3rd down for Bartram Trail in a mile. 3rd and 23 from their own 13-yard line. And again, this is critical for Creekside because this would be a backbreaker. Already down 14-0. They need to stop.
Yeah, they definitely do. This is like third and my pitching wedge here. That'd be my pitching wedge here.
Yeah, that's about right.
What do you think?
About 25 yards.
Yeah, it's probably about right.
After you duff it.
No, I'd be probably getting all of that.
All right, 3rd and 23. What does Bartram Trail do with Davis in at quarterback?
Same
Quick
thing.
little short pass, and that one thrown in the dirt. Jones had no chance, and Bartram Trail will be forced to punt. What looked like a would-be touchdown by Eric Weatherly turns into a couple of penalties and a punted away situation for Bartram Trail. Good job by the Creekside defense.
Yeah, it looks like Ralph Hamilton coming in the punt. His first punt. This is the first time they've punted tonight.
This is. Hamilton does the duties for Bartram Trail, and Earl Thresher, as a safety, does the punting duties for Creekside. So using some of their best athletes to be able to kick that ball away.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. A lot of people will do that. Just sort of take away the element of the rush if you got an athlete back there. Give them a chance to take off with it. Oh, man, that was almost blocked.
Great punt, too, and it backs Creekside all the way up to the 43-yard line, and that's Wilhelm, who was able to return it for a couple of yards. But what a boot that time by Ralph Hamilton to kind of get Bartram Trail out of a dangerous situation.
Yeah, that was a really good, about 46-yard punt, all in the air with about 2 yards on the return. They did a good job of covering it up, too. Nice job there. Creekside's got to get something going. They had the opportunity to punch it in down there, had the big turnover. They've been fortunate on a couple penalties on Bartram, or they might be down 4 scores at this point.
All right, well, Creekside down 14-0. 10:29 to go in the second quarter. A ton of game to go, and they just got away with one there after turning the ball over, going in. Thought they gave up a touchdown instead of penalty, so here we go. Creekside has it about the 49-yard line, their own.
Oh, bad
and now
snap.
a bad snap. Seeger has to go back and get it, falls on it. He does recover it, but what an awful start to this possession for Creekside after the bad snap, and you talked about it.
Yep.
They are rotating centers in. We see it be a problem for the Knights right there.
Right. Well, you've got your right guard starting at center, and he practiced yesterday probably. I'm sure they didn't know they were going to get ruled out until Thursday night, and because they didn't know they were playing. So he hasn't had any practice. I'm sure he gets some, but, not having your starting center is key. Makes all the calls, handles the balls just as much as anybody else. Probably the most important offensive lineman on the team is the center. 2
wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Seeger now has it, goes to his right, and he's looking for Goodrich. Doesn't find him. Instead, that pass pretty much thrown out of bounds. Sharif Denson covering Goodrich on the play. Just a freshman. Is Denson.
Yeah, again, they had some success earlier on that little roll pass right there. But, again, I think they got to continue to do what they do. But, man, I think they've got to get the tight end. They've got to get Calhoun a little bit more involved. He's been open pretty much all night. I think they've got to do a little better job of getting him involved in the game.
Calhoun's had 2 of their biggest plays on offense. One I thought was a touchdown, but he stepped out about the 4-yard line, and that ended up turning into a turnover for Creekside. It's 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 27 from their own 3rd and 32. Here's Seeger, gets the shotgun snap under pressure, and he might be brought down. He is brought down in the backfield. That will be a sack for the Bartram Trail Bears. They were all over him.
Yeah, I think that was.
You're going to call it number 46 for Bartram Trail, Brent Marty. No relation. He just lost the NEAU.
Yeah, Brett came off the edge. He's an outside linebacker, so he came off the edge, did a good job of taking Seeger down, and that was 3rd and forever. So you get a good pass rush. They can pin their ears back. They hand it off. They'll make the run to the ball, make the tackle.
Well, now Earl Thresher will do the punting duties, and what a change of field possession they've had here. Thresher kicks it to the near side. It will not be fielded. He gets pretty good bounce, actually. Crosses midfield and down to about the 42, 43-yard line. Thresher was under some pressure and able to get it off, and actually not a bad punt given the situation.
No, they try to do that little scrum rugby punt, so they try to get it so it hits and takes off and rolls a little bit farther down. But again, Bartram's got pretty good field position. They got the ball and going to have it 1st and 10 on the 45, their own 45. So they've had pretty good field position as far as that goes. But again, Creekside, that snap, first play of the series, backs them up 20 yards, and you're behind the ball right then. So again, Bartram's going to do what they do. They're going to mix it up. They're going to go see if we've got the starter quarterback back in.
Yeah, Brody Davis went in for the last series, and now here comes Chad Dotson again. And once again, that's familiar territory for Bartram Trail. They'll rotate their quarterbacks. Darryl Sutherland told us they would do that, and here we are. They get a lot of players into the football game. 2 wide receivers to the right for Bartram. Dotson in the shotgun, 1 wide receiver left. Handoff. And down to the near side. There might be a flag after that tackle as Malik Joseph looked like he had his face mask grabbed.
Yeah, I think it's face mask on the right in front of the bench. You can always tell the coaches on the sideline. They'll start pointing and yelling and screaming. Help the officials make sure they see that call.
You know those coaches, though. That doesn't mean it is a for sure thing.
No, I know, but, it's sort of fun to get in there. So yell at those guys a little bit. Keep them on their toes.
Well, that'll pick up 15 yards just like that for Bartram Trail, and that's a gimme 15.
I tell Bartram's had a really nice job running to the offensive left behind Otts and Eli Safar. They've had a really good job on this side. They had the long run earlier to the left side, so they've done a good job of that. But 6'7", 275 Jacob Otts anchoring down that sideline.
He's a big fellow. That offensive line has done a nice job. They'll bring up 1st down and 10 from the 38-yard line of Creekside. Shotgun snap to Dotson. He's looking down the seam, down the middle of the field. What a play by Thresher. The safety defends the play, knocks it away, or that could have been a big gainer.
Yeah, really good little play action, threw a little post pattern up on top. Really good coverage, pretty good ball. So that was a battle by those 2 guys up there. So again,
first deep shot we've seen tonight.
Yeah, they haven't. They nickel and dime and then takes a shot, try to get you sleeping. They've been known to do that, but I really like this set. They got both those good backs in the backfield at the same time.
That's Weatherly and A.J. Jones, or is that Malik Joseph in there off to the right of Dotson? I think it's Joseph along with Weatherly. Dotson in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. 2nd down, the pitch out to Weatherly. Weatherly off to the right, and he gets bottled up in a hurry by a host of Creekside Knights. They read that well.
Yeah, they ran to the ball right there. That was a really good job on defense. McCoxis, Terrell Maxwell down inside in there. Did a really good job. Jake O'Brien sticking down from his safety spot, getting down there. So they did a really good job running to that ball.
Coming up on 8 minutes to go in the first half. 14-0. Bartram Trail leads it over the Creekside Knights. 3rd and 14. Dotson sets up the screenplay. Has it to Weatherly. Weatherly catches it. Now down to the 40-yard line. And that's about all he'll get. Maybe to the 39. But well defended by the Knights again. And it looks like Bartram Trail will be forced to punt unless they decide to go for it. Here comes the punt team.
Yeah, they throw that little wide receiver screen, little middle screen in there. But the D-line guys on Creekside did a good job because when they get released, they stop and put on the brakes. They weren't getting fooled by it. They're getting let go. They sort of stop and run sideline to sideline. Don't get any deep penetration. So really good job by Creekside on defense on that series.
Coach, I thought you were a genius. We had 2 touchdowns in the first 1 minute and 40 seconds. Since then, nothing.
Get a little tired, maybe. They're a little tired.
Bartram Trail to punt from the 39-yard line of Creekside. See if they can pin them deep.
Oh, that's a good punt.
Ralph Hamilton with another good kick. Fair catch by Wilhelm. That's Maui Wilhelm, and he does catch it down at about the 10-yard line. So deep in their own end, Creekside will get it going with 7:41 to go in the first half. 14-0 Bartram Trail. It's interesting. I feel like Creekside has probably given too much to Bartram Trail, but Bartram Trail has kind of let Creekside hang in this thing if they can escape for a big play and maybe a score.
Yes, I agree with you on that. And it sort of let them hang around, sort of like last week. Let them hang around, and then they get their momentum back.
We're going to take a timeout, a water break on the field. 7:41 to go. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690, a St. Johns County rivalry. Bartram Trail leads at 14-0 here in the second quarter on ESPN 690.
I think Melo can still average 15 to 18 a game in the right system, but there's only one system, and that's wherever LeBron James is. I think that's Melo's last hope.
The Stephen A. Smith Show, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Welcome back to St. Johns County. Bartram Trail High School Bears lead at 14-0 over Creekside. Creekside's ball. Seeger gets the snap on first down from his own 10-yard line, and they'll call it a catch to Hines, but that one will be for a loss because Hines lost his footing. The pass was a little bit low, so it's actually a catch but a non-productive play.
Yeah, negative yard catch. You'd rather not knock that one down.
Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan, our Action Sports Shacks game of the week, 7-18 and rolling in the first half. Bartram Trail leads it 14-0, second and 11 for Seeger from his own 9-yard line. And now we have a flag, and it looks like it could be a procedure call against Creekside to back him up even more. Actually, Bartram Trail jumped, so that's a little bit of a helper for the Knights instead. It'll give them a bit more breathing room and set up a 2nd and 6 from the 14.
Yeah, I think, like I said, they've just got to do a good enough job to make sure they don't do anything and turn the ball over, but at the same time be aggressive, try to get some points here. Creekside needs.
See if they can get it into Jack Goodrich's hands. He's been very quiet here tonight. He's their playmaker. Hines goes in motion. Seeger gets a snap, and he's looking deep. And here is Goodrich. Can he get it down the middle? But no, Seeger overthrew him. One-on-one coverage in the middle of the field. At least they made the attempt, though. I like that, Coach. Goodrich is one of their playmakers. Scored a few touchdowns last week against Nice, and he's been very quiet here tonight.
Yeah, Evan Eller's on the coverage, one of the better DBs with Bartram. But, yeah, they finally took a shot down the field, and they got to get Goodrich involved. And, again, they got to keep Shane Calhoun involved, too.
That brings up 3rd and 6, it should be. 3rd and 6 from the 14-yard line. Creekside. Seeger in the shotgun. Creekside going left to right here at Bartram Trail High School. 6:54 to go in the first quarter. Bears lead at 14-0. The Knights have 3 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right. Strope will join Seeger in the backfield out of the shotgun. The left-handed quarterback takes the snap under pressure, eludes one tackler. Oh, what a move by Seeger, still on his feet. Now he still can throw it, and he does, and he finds Hines for a first down. What a play by Quinn Seeger. I mean, he had the juke button on. It was a video game for a moment, and then he had the presence of mind to know he was behind the line of scrimmage and could still throw it.
Yeah, that's really good job extending the play with his feet. Made the one guy miss. Kept his eyes downfield, started running, and then saw it and just dumped it off to Hines, got the first down.
They have to give him a little bit more time up front. It collapsed quickly there for Seeger, but they pick up the first down to Hines. 6:38 to go in the first half. 14-0 Bartram Trail, and now Creekside starts to march out of their own end. This drive started on their 10-yard line. They're up to the 24. 1st and 10. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Strope in the backfield with Seeger. Seeger gets a snap, looks, and he's going to be sacked. He had nowhere to go that time. And he's getting about 2 Mississippi, and that's it.
Yeah, he's catching that, barely getting his feet set, and they're all over. When they want to bring the pressure, they put a lot of pressure on him right there. And 46 on that sack, Brett Marty. He plays that strong safety, grizzly position, they call it.
Darryl Sutherland said he's been playing awesome, playing outstanding. So no surprise he's got 2 sacks now in this football game, does Marty. So brings up a 2nd and 16 from the 19-yard line. Seeger out of the shotgun, gives it to Strope. Strope has some room up the middle now, breaks a tackle now to the 30, 35, 40. Up to the 45 on the near side and crosses midfield. Nice run by Preston Strope. That's a big gainer and a first down for Creekside.
Yeah, Fields on the tackle, but I'll tell you, Calhoun did a tremendous job at tight end blocking on that and opening up that hole right there. They did a nice combo block on the 3 up, but Calhoun turned that defensive end and took him for a ride right there. Really good job. Really solid blocker, Calhoun. I'm real impressed with the way he's played.
First effective run for Creekside. Pick up 34 yards for Preston Strope out of the backfield, and now Creekside, once again, is in Bartram Trail territory with a first down. 5:43 to go and counting in the first half. 14-0. Bartram Trail leads it. Creekside on the move, started on their own 10. Seeger gets a snap, looks left, and the left-handed quarterback throws it incomplete.
Yeah, a little
at
miscommunication.
Hines,
A little miscommunication. He thought he was going to put the brakes on at about 6 yards, run a little quick stop because they were playing so far off. And a little miscommunication between the quarterback and the wideout right there.
I guess the easy part of any kind of sloppy play would be because of the lack of practice this week. That's the easy excuse. Not that anybody's using it, but I think it's notable that they only had 1 day of practice this week, and that was probably pretty light yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't do too much, just work on game plan stuff, little things. Again, they're both familiar with each other because they play every year.
Yeah. And Darryl Sutherland said at least it wasn't the first game of the year. They've had a practice game and 2 regular season games. Both teams come in 2-0. Second down and 10 now, and Seeger trying to get it out to Calhoun on a quick play, but he throws short, and Calhoun can't get it. So we'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the Bartram Trail 47-yard line. 5:28 to go in the first half. Bartram Trail scored 14 points in the first 2 minutes of this game, and nobody scored since. It's 14-0 Bartram Trail over Creekside.
Yeah, I tell you, they've done a good job on this drive. They've converted both third downs on this drive to get them to the spot, so they need to convert one more here. Keep that clock moving. You got to get some points this drive here for Creekside. Got to get some points.
Clock is stopped right now. 5:28 to go in the half. Hines comes in motion. Shotgun snap to Seeger. Left-handed quarterback rolls left, tries to create room, has Calhoun in the middle of the field all the way himself. 25, he hurdles over 1 for 20, down to the 15, breaks another tackle to the 10, the 5, and fumbles maybe out of bounds. Did it hit the pylon or did it go out of bounds? They call it a touchback.
Oh, man.
Wow,
that's
what an
a tough break.
Unfortunate circumstance because that was an incredible run by Calhoun, and I think it might have been Dominic Fields who poked that ball loose and forces a touchback for Creekside. Bartram Trail will take over.
I mean, you hate to see that. That Calhoun made a nice catch, and then he broke the tackle, and then he broke another tackle. Then he made a guy miss, and then he just lets that thing pop out of his arm. Boy, he was trying to get in that end zone bad. That's too bad right there because that was a really good play for Calhoun.
Well, listen, you can see this game on the video feeds. And you'll see highlights tonight on Action Sports Jack's primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. That was a highlight reel play. Calhoun's playing tremendous. He just suffers the unfortunate break of having the ball knocked out behind, and it hits the pylon instead of going out of bounds. If it goes out of bounds, it's okay, but it hits the pylon, it's a touchback.
Yeah, it hits the pylon, goes out, and that's just one of those things. And he's upset about it. I saw one of the coaches grab him, put their arm around him, but Seeger did a good job of getting him the ball, but, boy, he did a good job of trying to get into the end zone, breaking a tackle, making a guy miss, trying to run another guy over to get it in. So, you can't fault the young man on that play. Just unfortunate it went out of bounds.
You know what I hate?
In the end zone.
I hate in football that rule.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad rule.
Well, but those guys are going to fumble that ball into the end zone on purpose. You know what I mean?
I say it should come back to the spot of the fumble.
Yeah, but that's
not just this isolation. I say that in the playoffs, in the NFL, and college. I just think it's a goofy rule.
Yeah, it's an interesting rule, but I don't know if it's so goofy because if you do lose, you're hustling and knock that guy to cause him to make that ball out. Right. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
All right, Bartram Trail takes over now at their own 20-yard line, and the handoff up the middle looks like it's A.J. Jones, and he doesn't get much as Creekside's all over that. And Creekside's defense has really settled in. Remember, they gave up 51 a week ago to Nice. They jump out and give up a quick 7 on a short field and trail 14-0, one because of a special teams play. But if you take a whole look at this thing in the first half, Creekside's defense has done a pretty admirable job against a high-powered offense.
I think they've done a really good job. Their back's been to the wall the whole time. That they're down 14-0, but they just keep playing and keep playing and keep playing.
Second down and 10 now. Here's Dotson. He keeps it. And he gets to the left, and he slides right before picking up a first down. Probably picked up 7 or 8 yards, so he'll set up 3rd and 2.
It's almost like he went down, didn't want any contact. He's recovering from the ACL, so I'm sure he's a little leery when he takes off to run a little bit.
Smart play. Dotson's a good player. He's on the shorter side, just touches 6 feet tall, but hey, this day and age, that's okay. Mm-hmm. You can make plays, you make plays. 3rd and 2 now from their own 28. Dotson gets the shotgun, keeps it himself, and now forces his way across the 30. I think it will be just enough for the first down by Dotson, and that was all on him.
Yeah, that was a good little read up inside. He bent it back, found a little crease, sort of bend forward, and got the first down. He's probably mad that he didn't get the first down on the carry before. So
3:50 and counting now, as we'll see if Bartram Trail can put together one last drive before the end of the half and maybe run out the half. They're already up 14-0 in this football game. 1st and 10 from their own 31. Receiver left, 3 to the right. Jones in the backfield with Dotson. Shotgun snap, fake handoff to Jones. Rolls right and has a receiver. It's caught around the 37-yard line. Creekside quickly meets the receiver, and he'll be stopped for a gain of about 7.
Yeah, it looked like Zach Rhodes on the catch. Did a nice little out, found a little sit down in the zone. Nice pickup on the first down.
Again, Rhodes is a cool story. He played in the spring game at the quarterback spot because both Dotson and Brody Davis were coming back from injury.
Right.
Now he's found himself in the slot, doing a nice job, and he's been busy at times tonight. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard, 2nd and 5, at the 36-yard line. Dotson gets a snap, looking downfield, down the seam.
Oh,
it's
great
Mayer.
catch.
Well, Mayer catching,
great catch,
wrestled it away, and he's down to the 25-yard line, inside the 20-yard line. What a catch by Mayer. Jackson Mayer, the senior tight end, going to Robert Morris. He just showed you why. He just pulled that ball away.
Yeah, real soft hand, too. Dotson to a really good ball, sort of back shoulder seam where only he could catch it because the DB was right there. But great job by the safety. But, boy, nice job with his hands catching and then getting a little more after the catch.
You talk about high pointing a ball. He just did that. And plenty of time for Dotson to work, and he let that play develop beautifully. A big gain for Bartram Trail all the way down to the 19-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Bartram Trail leads by 2 scores, 14-0, and trying for another. One receiver right. 2 to the left, and we've got a timeout, an official's timeout. Now a timeout by Creekside. They'll call a timeout on the defensive side of things. This is an important series.
Very
for
important.
Creekside.
Both teams, it's important to me because Bartram really hasn't done anything. They've moved it a little bit. They've had some penalties that hurt them on this drive, but they could get points here and go up 21-0 big. And then on the other side, Creekside's got to get them stopped because they can't go down 21-0 to this team.
You know, it's interesting to me. That was a 46-yard gain for Jackson Mayer. We've got tight ends
Yes.
all over the place here in Northeast Florida. I've been here a dozen years, Coach. I don't remember this many tight ends. Mayer's going to Robert Morris. Of course, on the other side, Shane Calhoun's been brilliant in this game. He's going to East Carolina. Not playing today is Christian Williams. He's got a torn ACL. He is a Lehigh commit who plays at Creekside. So they've got 2 college guys playing tight end. And that's not alone. We got a guy from Episcopal going to Penn State. There's more of them. I mean, what's up with the tight end position?
Well, I think they're becoming such a commodity because remember, everybody's gone away from those guys. Now college, everybody's coming back, and they're not just playing tight end. They're playing him as the H-back, as that fullback, the mover guy. So they don't have to change personnel when they want to go to the tight end because they're athletic enough and big enough to play wide out. As you see, both these guys can play wide out with no problem, can turn around and block and play some fullback and then beat a tight end. So you sort of got 3 guys into one is what it's moving into.
So here we go. After the timeout, 2:22 and counting to go. 14-0 Bartram Trail. 1st and 10 from Creekside's 19. Weatherly goes in motion. A handoff to A.J. Jones off to the left side, the near side. Stays on his feet, but that was a nice tackle. Might have been O'Brien.
Yep.
Jack O'Brien with the tackle. Nice play.
Yeah, been real active today. And I'll tell you, they seem to be real left-handed running the ball as far as what they've done on their run stuff. They must either Coach Sutherland can't see the other side of the field because they're running the ball to the left. But that always was the thing with Corky when things got done. Corky always ran the ball to his bench early in the game.
Corky Rogers, the legendary Bulls coach. Dotson now fakes right, spins back to the left for a set-up screen play, and met immediately is Brandon Chim, who's been quiet tonight, his first reception. Nice job on defense by Creekside. It is a reception for no gain.
Yeah, he is the leading receiver. He's averaging almost 20 yards a catch, and that's the first time we've called his name tonight. 3rd down, big 3rd down, both teams right here.
Huge 3rd down, 3rd and a long 12 from almost the 22-yard line of Creekside. 1 minute, 15 seconds and counting to go in the half. 14-0 Bartram Trail. 2 wide receivers to the right of Dotson. A.J. Jones in the backfield with Dotson. 1 receiver to the left. Here's Dotson now in the shotgun. Has a little time, under pressure now, and he finds a receiver. It is Mayer again, who's been all over the field. Number 7, Jackson Mayer, has it inside the 10-yard line, and that will be really close to a first down. They'll give it to him.
I tell Mayer did a good job using his body in front of, sort of like a rebounding a basketball as he was running, kept that big body in front of the DB, Stovall right there, and put the ball right on him, got the first down.
Beautiful throw by Chad Dotson right there. He threaded the needle to pick up the first down. Inside a minute to go in the half now. First and goal from the 9 for Bartram Trail. Dotson gets it, swings it to A.J. Jones, tries to slip a tackle, but he cannot do that. Tucker Owens, able to bring down Jones after a gain of 1.
Yeah, that was a good play by the defense there. Tucker Owen coming from the outside linebacker spot, just that little swing pass that they have.
30 seconds and counting now. Second and goal from the 8. Dotson taking his time, up 14. Handoff to Jones up the middle. And met immediately, and they'll call a timeout, Bartram Trail. Well, that was Brian McKnight. Nice job by the linebacker stepping up and meeting Jones. Maybe a gain of 1, but it'll bring up third and goal. Bartram calls a timeout with 21.8 seconds to go in the half, leading this game by 14.
Yeah, again, we talked about how important this drive is for both teams. I think they've got to come away with some points, and Creekside's got to stop them from getting in the end zone. You don't want to go down 21-0. Okay, we'll give you 17. We're used to being down like a week ago, 17 at one point. But, again, I think they've got to come in, and both teams, this is a big, big play now. I believe if Bartram doesn't get it, they'll probably kick the field goal and probably let it run down, call timeout on the second, and then kick the field goal and hopefully get those points if they don't score.
Place kicker Will Gregg has been very good, both on extra points and kickoffs so far in this football game. Our game of the week, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings, Baker's Sports, and Honda at the Avenues. We appreciate their support. Our halftime report coming up in just a few minutes as we have 21.8 seconds to go in the first half. Bartram Trail leads it 14-0. Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan. Our game of the week moved to Saturday night because of Hurricane Dorian, but we're happy to bring it to you on ESPN 690. And you know what? We've had a pretty good one. Entertaining first half.
Yep.
Both teams making plays. Bartram Trail making the bigger plays. A few turnovers by Creekside have been costly.
And we've seen two really good tight ends and really good players in this game.
Third and goal from the 7-yard line. Dotson gets the snap, pitches it out to Weatherly. He's got a little running room. Creekside chasing on the far side, and Weatherly stays on his feet and ends up dancing into the end zone. Looked like he may have gone out of bounds at first. Is there a touchdown signal? Yes, there is.
Yeah, there it is. Took the official a minute to check with the other official, make sure he didn't step out of bounds there, Brent, it looked like, and signal, but a really good run by Weatherly, really good run.
Weatherly makes it look easy. On a third and goal play, he was pushed outside toward that boundary line, and it almost looked like he had slowed up that he was out of bounds. Instead, he kept his footing and then just danced the remaining 5 yards into the end zone.
Like stopped on a dime and broke that tackle and then accelerated in the end zone.
So now the extra point for Gregg. He's 2 for 2 already tonight, trying to make it 21-0, and he does that. 12.1 seconds, and that's a killer for Creekside. They played so well on defense. The big play to Jackson Mayer sprung them for 46 yards, a big third down and 12 conversion, and then a big third and goal conversion by Eric Weatherly, the sophomore running back from Bartram Trail. Bears now lead the Knights 21-0.
Yep, big-time players make big-time plays in big games, big rivalries. Those are the things you got to have. Mayer had 2 huge catches on that drive right there. Creekside's done a really good job defensively, especially being down 14-0. They've played, their defensive kids have played hard, you will indicate it by the score, but I tell you what, they've done a good job on defense. Just missed a tackle here, but again, that's why you got to keep playing. You got to keep pushing here. We'll get the regroup here coming in back after halftime.
By the way, the Bartram Trail folks will be like, hey, what about our defense? Yeah, what about our defense?
Yeah.
Their defense has been fantastic so far early in the year. Darryl Sutherland, they've made some changes. They said they tried to simplify it, play fast. You can really tell. They've got some players now, some young players doing a nice job. But the simplicity of their defense, playing a little bit faster, has really worked out for them in the early going of the season.
Yeah, and they all run to the ball. I bet they emphasize tackling and running to the ball on defense because you could see that here tonight.
All right, so Gregg will kick it off, and let's see if Creekside has a big play left in him. 12 seconds to go in the first half. Hines is back there to return the kick along with Goodrich. Kick will go out of bounds, way out of bounds, in fact.
I'd make him kick it again. I'd make him kick it again on that thing.
They don't want anything to do with Hines or Goodrich, it looked like there.
Yeah, either that or, they just want to get out and give him the ball in the 35, thinking they'll just take the knee, won't try to do anything with him. But, heck, I'd make him kick it again. Why not?
They might, too. And everybody's staying in the special teams formation. Kick return is out there for Creekside, so I think they're going to listen to you. You have a mic right to Coach McIntyre?
No, I mean, with 12 seconds left, you want to try to get one more chance to field it, maybe break one or something like that. And most guys would just take it out of bounds, take a knee, and go in. But I think you got to keep coaching and you got to keep playing, and force them to make the tackle on you if they kick it in bounds again.
Now the sun's about to set on a beautiful, steamy Saturday in St. Johns County, and it's about to set on the first half. 12 seconds to go. 21-0. Bartram Trail in the lead over Creekside in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Greg will kick it again from his own 35-yard line. This one will come down to Goodrich. He'll get it at the 5. Catches it, crosses the 10, now the 15-20. Has a little bit of room, stays on his feet across the 32. So that wasn't beneficial, but at least they gave themselves a chance to make a big play. Now 5.8 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was going to kick it in the end zone, too, right there.
He's got a great leg.
Yeah, he does. Real strong leg, and they usually have a really good kicker, really have real good special teams. And, again, you're not going to be running down on that trying to kill the guy. You usually got to get him tackled, put him on the ground right there. So.
All right, so Quinn Seeger will set things up. I think they'll just take a knee. Goodrich goes out to the left, but he's actually going off to the sideline. So they'll just kneel on this, and our first half will come to an end. Seeger does that, and that's how we'll end 2 quarters of play here on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Very entertaining. But in the end, Bartram Trail jumps out to a 2-score lead in the first 2 minutes. 3 turnovers, 2 of them right near the goal line, really doomed Creekside. And then an end-of-the-half drive for Bartram Trail puts them up 21-0.
Yeah, been really good job. I think, I really want to talk about both. I thought Bartram's defense was going to be a little bit better. Or not, I wouldn't say more prepared, but a little bit better tonight. And I thought they were going to be the difference in the game. They had the big turnover, which created a short field right there, and they've done a pretty good job. But Creekside sort of got themselves in the foot, too. But they've played pretty good on defense, even though the score doesn't indicate it. A couple plays here and there, and this is really a 7-0 game.
Yeah, fun game to watch so far. Let's talk about it some more. We've got 17 minutes of halftime to do just that. Welcome into our halftime report right after this. We'll get you caught up with everything else going on around the world in sports, including we'll give you an update on the U.S. Open and Antonio Brown. Oh, that's so much fun.
Antonio Brown.
The Jags play tomorrow. What's going on in college football? We'll have all that for you coming up. Our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. It's 21-0. Bartram Trail leads Creekside down here in St. Johns County.
The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. A rivalry continues this weekend. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options, and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at HondaofTheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Hey, welcome back to halftime here in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with the head coach, Kevin Sullivan, the Hall of Famer in the state of Florida. By way of Andrew Jackson, Atlantic Coast, Ed White as well, and he joins us in the booth all fall on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. Week number 1, we saw Columbia beat Trinity Christian. Last week, you and Stuart Weber were up there in Nassau County for Fernandina Beach and Yulee. And here we are tonight for Bartram Trail against Creekside. The Bears with a 21-0 lead in a game that looks like a blowout on the scoreboard.
Right.
But take away the first 2 minutes of the football game. Quick 14 points, one on special teams, a 90-yarder by A.J. Jones. Then the first play for Creekside, a fumble by Seeger. Bears pick it up. They score a few plays later again with A.J. Jones. We were less than 2 minutes in. It was 14-0. The rest of the half, the remainder of the 22 minutes, I thought Creekside went head-to-head with Bartram Trail, so the scoreboard looks a lot more lopsided maybe than the play has been.
Right. Well, you talk about Creekside had 2 opportunities. They were down inside the goal line. Calhoun made a nice play on the pass, got down there, and then they ended up turning it over. They threw an interception, batted ball interception.
Yep.
Then they come back about 6 minutes to go in the half, and they drive down the field. Calhoun makes a really good play, makes a couple guys miss, and then fumbles the ball out the back of the end zone as he was going in to score. So, they're going to go in down 21-0, but the game is a little bit closer than that. It could be 14-7 Creekside, without the turnover and the kickoff return at the beginning, or it could be 7-7 both. So it's been pretty good.
Absolutely.
Pretty good.
Think about a football game, right? In any football game, and in a rivalry game or a close game, special teams might win the day.
Yep.
I think Greg has been fantastic. Kickoffs
Yep.
and also extra points, 3 for 3. But obviously the 90-yard return right off the rip of this game, 12 seconds in, it's 7-0. So there's a big special teams play. I think both punters have done a nice job. But then on top of that, we talk turnovers all the time.
Right.
That's what wins and loses football games. But not only does Creekside have 3 turnovers, and Bartram doesn't have any. 2 of them, like you mentioned, right at the doorstep of the goal line.
Right.
I mean, some points there. So critical.
And the other one was inside their own 15. First play of the game, offensive
You're right,
play
inside
of the game.
their own. Yes.
Their own 15.
So they directly related to 21 points
points
on or off
right.
the board. And that's what you're talking about, and that's what we have here at halftime. Bartram Trail leads at 21-0 as the Creekside Band now takes center stage here on the beautiful field at Bartram Trail High School. The sun about to set on a Saturday night in St. Johns County. What an atmosphere we have. A beautiful
great crowd
for Saturday night. Glad you're along with us. We've got second half action to come in just a moment. But let's check out our Honda at the Avenues keys of the game. How has this played out so far? Lou Saab Honda at the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. The Honda at the Avenues keys to the game. Tell us what you had to start the game, and what do you think so far 2 quarters in?
Well, we talked about Bartram. I thought they needed to mix up the game plan, have a good balance of run and pass, and they've done that. They've thrown the ball. They've run the ball pretty effectively. Their pass defense has been real solid. They gave up a couple late. Calhoun for Creekside made a couple good plays, couple guys missing, and then they've won the kicking game so far. They've kicked off 4 times, all been at the back of the ends. Well, not all, but except the last one. And then they had the 90-yard return, and then the punt game's been real solid. So on that side, I think Bartram's answered those. Creekside again, I think they've done a good job of nickel and diamond, and they're trying to get the run game going, but they've had one real good run real good burst. Quarterback's done a good job of getting them out of something and making some plays. Tackle better on defense. Last week they gave up 5 plays over 50 yards and 630 yards, 51 points. I think they played pretty good on defense, truthfully. And then I thought they had to play loose, and they may have been a little tight coming out. And maybe not a little bit tight, just not mentally ready to play Saturday at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and if you think about it, too, one practice again. This is why we're here at a 6 o'clock evening Saturday game. And because of Hurricane Dorian, they didn't have school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Everybody's schedule thrown for a loop. Athletes, players, everybody pretty much, creatures of habit. So that gets thrown off. If you think about this series now, Sean McIntyre, 4-6 in his first couple of years, and we were talking the other night about this series alone. The last time Creekside has won was in 2014. Back in 2017, right. Bartram Trail won 49-0. That was a state title run for the Bartram Trail Bears. They had just got whopped in that game. Creekside did. 2018, the next year, well, they've scored their first touchdown since 2014. It had been 4 years to score a touchdown against the first-team defense of Bartram Trail. They ended up losing 31-21. They really weren't in the game. It wasn't as close as that in the second half. So now this is a bit more of a barometer game for McIntyre, the Creekside program.
Right.
No doubt Darrell Sutherland and Bartram Trail, they're the standard in
yes,
St. Johns County, what they've done.
In North Florida, not just St. Johns County.
And so crosstown rival trying to play catch-up a little bit. So far, it's been a pretty good showing, but still trail on the scoreboard, 21-0.
Yeah, but again, they've been in the game, and again, as you're building the program, and what McIntyre, he's got 10 seniors. He's got 5 kids that have been with him for 3 years of the 10, and those kids are Seeger and Calhoun and a couple of the linemen. So when he got there weren't a lot of buy-in.
Yeah.
You know, he said he had 31 kids in his weight class when he got there in March of 2016 or 17, 2017. And he's got 5 of those kids in his program. So that tells you what he's been having to do and overcome. And they've done a good job, and they're competitive now. Everybody, they're not like, hey, we're going to schedule Creekside for homecoming anymore. They're not going to do that. Last year, don't forget, they upset 9-1 Fleming Island, you know. So they're doing a good job coaching. I think they just got to go. He thinks that this is a big year for them, but really next year is the year where he's got like 25 kids that have been in the program. He's got a really good feeder system. They've got 130 kids now in the program, and I feel really good about it. So, again, and you know what Coach Sutherland's done at Bartram, everybody knows, about 20 years, just got kids playing all over the country. Just tremendous job.
It's
tremendous
amazing.
person.
I was in Columbus, Ohio last week to watch Ohio State, Florida Atlantic, and a few Bartram Trail kids. There were 15 kids from Northeast Florida playing in that game at Ohio State in Columbus, Ohio. A few of them right from here in Bartram Trail High School. Of course, he's got Riley Smith, and he's got Joey Gatewood and Nathan Peterman and all those big names. I mean, it's amazing. The list goes on and on. Those are just some of the bigger names that have played at Bartram Trail High School. Let's talk more about this game and also what's happening in the rest of the weekend in sports, including a big Jacksonville Jaguars game. First, we'll take a timeout. Creekside's band off the field. The halftime performances continue here at Bartram Trail High School, St. Johns County. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Second half action on the way soon. Bartram Trail leads it 21-0 over Creekside on ESPN 690.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Florida high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options, and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker's Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker's Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker's Sports.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. You're watching and listening, depending on which platform you are on,
right,
to the Bartram Trail High School band. They sound fantastic. Creekside played earlier. We're at halftime. Bartram Trail football team leads at 21-0 over Creekside in our Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brett Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, as we continue with our halftime report. Once again, a big thank you to all our sponsors, Mr. Chubby's Wings, Honda at the Avenues, Lusab Honda of the Avenues, and also Baker Sports. And speaking of Baker Sports, on Tuesday we'll name a Coach of the Week. Every week we do that in the high school ranks. And our first 2 winners, Wolfson's Dennis Bettinger, week number 1, and Creekside, Sean McIntyre, won it this past week for that big win over Nice in comeback fashion, 58-51, one of the more entertaining games you'll ever see, and we'll see who wins our Coach of the Week coming up this Tuesday during our show on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, 3 to 6 with Austin Lane and myself. Thanks to Baker Sports for supporting our high school initiatives, including the first year we've ever done a Game of the Week on ESPN 690. That being said, let's talk a little bit more about the schedule in high school football. It's been thrown for a loop.
Oh, yeah.
All of our friends in the high school system that have to recreate these schedules. You've been through this before. ADs and coaches and principals and the Timmy Tallies of the world.
Right, county AD.
It's unbelievable what goes into this. And we'll have some Monday games. We might even have a Tuesday game.
I think we do
have
have a
some
Tuesday
Friday
game.
and Saturday games this coming week. It really throws you for a loop, doesn't it? All because of Hurricane Dorian.
Yeah, the whole thing that with the coaches, you know, we're used to adapting and used to doing that, but you get your kids out of a routine, and as a coach, you sort of always like being in the routine. You know, your kids know, hey, on Monday we're going to be in shells, and we're going to run gassers to start practice, and then we're going to practice. We're going to put the game plan in, and then on Tuesday we're going to coach it up and get after it, and on Wednesday we're going to fine-tune and work our trick plays and work a little tough best on best, and then Thursday get our walkthrough and play. Now, all of a sudden, the Hurricane throws things in, and you, as a coach, and I was always uncomfortable not being in my routine. And so now you're playing on Monday nights where you probably practice today, practice Friday, and today you can't practice on Sunday, and then playing on Monday, and some guys are playing on Tuesday. So, and then, you know, there's some games that have been moved from next week to the bye weeks to change it. So everybody's sort of scrambling, and a lot of coaches are real flexible to help our other guys in their area. And but yeah, that sort of puts you in a different mindset as the coach, you know. But again, heck, you play 2 games in a week, makes the season go fast.
You want to get them in, and these guys wanted to get this one in. That's why we're playing here on a Saturday night. By the way, Lee Ribault was going to be our Game of the Week next Friday. Well, they're not playing on Friday. That game got moved around, so we'll keep you up to date. We think it's going to be Andrew Jackson at Westside next Friday night, but we will confirm that in the next day or so.
Westside 2-0. They're playing Baldwin, who's 2-0 Monday night. Robert Shields, the coach of Baldwin's on my staff for 11 years, so real proud of him, real excited for him.
Very good. We'll keep you up to date on what next week's Game of the Week will be as the schedule's still in flux. We'll give you some sports scores from around the world, college football, some stunners and almost stunners today, and then we have second half action coming up in about 2 minutes from here in St. Johns County, Bartram Trail High School. The Bears lead the Creekside Knights 21-0 in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. The Greater Jacksonville Area Cadillac Dealers Action Sports Jacks Dream 18 is just around the corner. September 16th at the Golf Club at Southampton. Thanks to our presenting sponsors as well, the law offices of Ron Scholes and the Players Championship. Your business can still be a part of the event to raise money for St. Michael's Soldiers and North Florida Junior Golf Foundation. Florida Georgia Windows and Doors is challenging local businesses to donate $1,000. Join the $1,000 charity challenge at actionsportsjacksdream18.com. It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options, and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Hey, we're getting closer and closer to the second half action in our Game of the Week between Bartram Trail and Creekside. The Bears lead the Knights 21-0. They scored 2 touchdowns early in the first 2 minutes, and then we went back and forth with a lot of big plays, including 3 Creekside turnovers, and then a late score right before the half for Bartram Trail on a 3rd and goal. A couple big plays on that drive allowed the Bears to take a 21-0 lead going into halftime. And Creekside will get the ball to start the second half in just a couple of moments. Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan. A lot going on in the sports world, obviously. Let's pass along a couple of scores. Florida State in the lead in the third quarter over Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe knocking on the door, though, 24-14. The Noles in the lead, looking to bounce back after a horrific loss a week ago in Tallahassee. UCF up over FAU 14-0. So a good start for the Knights on the road against the Owls. And I saw Florida Atlantic last week in Columbus. They're a pretty good football team, so that would be impressive for UCF. How about our buddy Mel Tucker, who once served as the interim head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, spent time as a defensive coordinator of the Jaguars, time at Georgia and Alabama and Cleveland Browns, and a really good man.
Dude. Yeah,
He's
really
now the
dude.
head coach at Colorado and gets a huge win over former UCF coach Scott Frost and Nebraska, 34-31 in overtime today. That just happened a short time ago. Meanwhile, earlier in the day, Clemson able to handle business against Texas A&M. Texas A&M was looking pretty good early, 24-10. Clemson only scores 14 points. How about that? 24 points. That's a bit surprising, but they beat the Aggies 24-10. The Gators are about to tip off or kick off against UT Martin in Gainesville in just a few moments, and Alabama rolls 62-10 over New Mexico State. Georgia beats Murray State 63-17. So just some of the scores. Almost a shocker in Ann Arbor as Michigan holds off Army in double overtime, 24-21. Serena Williams going for her 24th Grand Slam title. Isn't able to get it done. She loses at the U.S. Open, a bit surprising. And Antonio Brown, the saga of all sagas, he's now a New England Patriot. Oh, my word. Released from the Oakland Raiders after asking for his release early today, and he gets his wish, and he gets to go play with Tom Brady. The world is sometimes not right.
Not fair, but I had tweeted that out this morning to one of my buddies that he was going to go to the Patriots, because why wouldn't he go to the Patriots so he can catch 125 balls and play in the Super Bowl and then go sign some mega deal because somebody's going to sign him and everything. That whole situation has been just chaotic, man.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
It's in a lot of ways what can be wrong with sports.
Right.
The fact that he's getting $15 million to play for the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, maybe. By the way, Florida State just gave up a touchdown. It's now 24-20 in the third quarter in Tallahassee against Louisiana Monroe. Also, the game we interrupted for tonight's Game of the Week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. The Yankees about to beat the Red Sox. It was 5-1 in the ninth inning, so wanted to keep you up to date on that. And we'll have the Stanford USC game.
That's going to be a good game.
Coming up tonight. Now, both
Backup
quarterbacks injured, but
yeah.
we'll have that one right on ESPN 690, and a big game for both programs to see what direction they can go without their quarterbacks. Of course, USC in a little tougher situation. Their quarterback out for the year after the torn ACL to JT Daniels. So, I forgot to mention, we're about
go Jags
15 hours away from a kickoff in Jacksonville. That was very nice, right?
That
was pretty good. That was not a sound effect like that was in our system. That was Kevin Sullivan. That was really good.
We do that at home all the time when we say go Jags. We're used to doing that.
Can you record that back there, Coos? And maybe we keep that for the show. I like that from Kevin Sullivan. Anyway, Jags will kick off against the Kansas City Chiefs, 1 o'clock on CBS 47 tomorrow to open the season in the NFL. It is going to be hot, so make sure you get hydrated tonight and tomorrow, but it will be a good one. That offense against this defense here in Jacksonville to start the year should be a lot of fun. One big concern for the Jaguars at left tackle, they won't have Cam Robinson. They're actually on their third left tackle, which will be Will Richardson. We will get you started in the morning on Action Sports Jacks on the TV side, 11:30 countdown to kickoff on CBS 47. The game kicks at 1 o'clock on CBS 47. We'll have a post-game show on Action News Jacks on Facebook and the social media platforms, and then later at night we'll wrap it all up as we always do. Action Sports Jacks primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Saturdays and Sundays all year long, which means Stuart Weber is manning the ship tonight, and he'll be on TV, and he'll have highlights from this game that we're at. Bartram Trail leads Creekside 21-0. There have been plenty of highlights. The problem for Creekside is they have to cash in a little bit more on the big plays.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And again, we talked about it earlier about finishing. You know, they've turned it over twice inside their own 10 going in for scores. And again, it's 21-0, but it's a lot closer game than 21-0. It's 2 minutes in, it was 14-0. So they played pretty well. Bartram's done a good job, but their defense has done a good job. They might have got a little bit tired in the secondary. They're not rotating as many kids in the secondary as they are up front at the linebackers. So it'll be hopefully a good, positive second half. Creekside last week was down about 17 at half. Got a big punt return from Maui Wilhelm to sort of get them sparking, and then it was like a track meet from them with Nice coming out with 58-51 last week. So we know they can come back, and we look for Bartram gets the ball. I'm sorry, Creekside gets the ball, so hopefully they'll get back going. And that first drive is probably the most important drive going into the game. First drive of the second half, down 21-0.
Everybody take a sigh of relief and smiles from everyone here, the couple thousand plus here at Bartram Trail High School, because the sun has set here in St. Johns County on this Saturday, which maybe cools off from a feel like of around 100 to at least 90, which is a breather. And once again, it is going to be one of the hottest games on record tomorrow for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But we want to see you there, be loud and proud, and sweat with all of us tomorrow for the Jags game against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, we're about to get set, ready to roll here in the second half. Brett Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, our Game of the Week, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Once again, if you're just listening, well, do yourself a favor. You can watch as well. Marcel Robinson doing a fantastic job with the camera work on this game, and you can see it on Facebook, on YouTube, on my Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. It's on ESPN 690 Facebook, on Action Sports Jacks Facebook, and also on YouTube, our Action Sports Jacks channel. So you can go back if you haven't, if you can't get there now, you can always go back and watch the game as well. All right, we're about to get it going in the second half on a beautiful evening here in St. Johns County. Bartram Trail going to left to right. Back to receive the kick will be Jack Goodrich and Jalen Hines for the Creekside Knights. Will Gregg has done a fantastic job with the place kicking duties so far tonight. This one's booted deep and right in the end zone, right at the line. Goodrich catches it about a yard deep, and he'll come out to the 20 to begin things.
Yeah, we talk about that letting those guys run those balls out of the end zone in high school. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't understand. It just gives you an advantage, but it just makes the game more exciting. As a coach, I always thought you should be able to run it out. But
it is a weird thing.
Yeah.
You know why it's strange to me is because it's unlike anything else we see. We're used to seeing people be able to do it in the NFL and in college, so why not be able to do it in high school? Right.
Yeah, so that's something that I'd like to see them change, but they won't.
I'm sure that's not the only thing on your list.
Yeah, but I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Creekside in their white uniforms, black helmets. Seeger starts out of the shotgun from his own 20. Handoff to Strope, who had a big run in the second quarter. This time it's just a short 1-yarder. Maybe only got a half a yard.
Yeah, that inside of that Bartram defense has been really good. They've only given up one really run of about 22, 23 yards. They've controlled it pretty good. Dylan Cheeto, the nose guard, and they're doing a nice job.
Creekside will have 2nd and 10 from just over the 20-yard line.
They're in no huddle, but not like they're going super fast. They have sometimes when they go fast, but they're still in the no huddle.
Goodrich to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Seeger joined by Strope in the backfield, fakes it to Strope, now slings it to the right side. It's complete right about the line of scrimmage, and that is Goodrich for maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, good quick pass out there. Good job running, swarming to the ball, but hold a 3-yard gain. Again, they run to the ball real well. That's one of the things they really stress on defense at Bartram Trail, running to the ball.
So an early 3rd and long for Seeger and Creekside from their own 23, 3rd and 7. Clapping his hands, now looks to the sideline. Out of the shotgun, Strope next to him. 2 receivers left. Goodrich once again to the right, along with Hines.
Again, trying to get him into a good play, good against his formation.
5 to go on the play clock. Seeger gets the shotgun snap, fakes the run, now looks deep, under pressure, over the middle, and short hops Calhoun, who was wide open, and there's an injured Bartram Trail Bear. No wonder why he was so wide open, as Craig Sinclair came up a little gimpy. Sinclair leads this team in tackles. Could be
I think
cramp.
He's cramping.
Yeah. Definitely a cramp.
Yeah, you can see by the way that foot is sort of that calf looks
We've
like
all had them.
It's like a tennis ball in his calf right now.
Yeah, not fun. And that's what you get with all the heat.
Yep, gotta hydrate. Hydrate.
You can think you're hydrating, and you're just not. Right?
Yeah, and again, playing on Saturday, sitting around all week. There hasn't been much conditioning, and the kids weren't out running in the hurricane, getting in some work.
That's probably the biggest challenge.
Yes.
What do you do? I mean, when you got everybody as a group, you can go to the weight room, or you can, like you said, run gassers. It's a little bit different when you're on your own and you got all that snack food that you bought for the hurricane. And
that you ate before the hurricane got there.
All right, so Creekside to punt now, 4th and 7 from their own 23. First possession of the second half for Creekside. Thresher's kick is a pretty good one. Now crosses midfield. Fair catch called at the 48-yard line by Bartram. And that's where they will begin things here in the second half. First possession of half number 2, leading this thing 21-0 over Creekside.
Well, exactly how Bartram wants to start on defense. Give them nothing. Keep them demoralized. Keep them down. And turn it back over your offense. And let's just do what we do and run it, throw it, and just run what they give us. But really good job on their defense. Their guys inside have done a really good job, moved around real well today. And I'm sure Creekside would have liked to come out and got something going on that possession.
Nose of the ball on the 49-yard line, just in Bartram Trail territory. That's where Bartram Trail will get going with Chad Dotson at QB. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Keep an eye on Jackson Mayer. Had a tremendous first half out of the tight end spot. A.J. Jones given the handoff, and he's met immediately. First off, it was Jake Spillers, and then a couple of other friends on the Creekside team came in and helped them out.
Yeah, they've done it. Like I said, they've done a real good job with the inside run game. It's the sort of outside and not tackling that's hurt them on defense.
2 running backs joined with Dotson in the backfield. Now Weatherly goes in motion. Dotson rolls right. Has a receiver, finds a receiver, and it's Zach Rhodes once again. Rhodes has been a busy guy here on this Saturday night.
Yeah, a little play action boot out there. They sort of flood the zone. They got a short out route, little high corner, and then a little sit down in there, and they just read the zone.
Now into Creekside territory, the quick snap and a catch and a first down on the left side. Left hash, it's Jackson Mayer. There he is again. He's having himself a heck of a football game. Another first down for Bartram Trail. Unless we have a penalty. Nope, chains are moving.
Yeah, chains are moving. I think they thought they had an injured player down there. 21 got up a little slow, and then they're rotating him out right now. But really quick, crisp, getting the ball to the playmakers here, sort of what Bartram does offensively.
9:25 to go here in the third quarter. 21-0. Bartram Trail leads it, and they're marching inside Creekside territory down to the 36-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 for the Bartram Trail. 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Dotson. Gets a shotgun snap, slings it out to Rhodes again. Rhodes has a blocker. Down to the 30, inside the 30, out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So a nifty little pickup of about 8 yards.
Yeah, good block by Jackson Mayer on that out there at the wideout spot. Again, that's the H-back type of thing. They don't have to change personnel. He can line up at tight end. He can line up at fullback. He lines up at wideout. He's a blocker out there on that play. Oh, hold up.
I think they have to get the chains and the down marker set up. And so the officials quick stop, reset the play clock. Now they'll roll things, 9:15 and counting. 2nd and 2 from about the 28. Dotson. Pass out to the left. Looks like Weatherly out there, and he's swallowed up. Nice job once again by the defense at Creekside as Ryan Brummel in on the stop early for the Knights.
Yeah, they ran to the ball there. You had Newman there, O'Brien there, Terrell Maxwell running to the ball. So they've done a pretty good job on that play right there for a loss.
I gave him a first down on that previous play. So now it's 2nd and 14 from the 28-yard line, from the 34-yard line, Dotson keeps it himself and really just got back to the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and long coming up for Bartram Trail.
Yeah, a little quarterback draw. We got another one, looks like at Creekside cramping up. Spiller, who's been all over the field, is going off right now, limping a little bit, grabbing that calf. Might have the cramps coming after him a little bit here.
Luther McCoy on the stop that time for Creekside. Man in the middle. Junior for the Knights. So 3rd and 14 from the 33-yard line of Creekside territory. Bartram Trail. Dotson in the shotgun. Gets a snap. Looking down the field. And he is met and sacked.
And they got holding. Defensive holding.
There's McCoy again. Luther McCoy back-to-back stops, and that time he drilled Dotson.
Yeah, I think we got defensive holding. They tried to get Jones out of the backfield on the wheel route, and the outside linebacker just grabbed and tackled him, took him to the ground. They threw the holding penalty. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw, defensive holding.
Well, you might be right, because Dotson was going to the sideline, and then he just gave one of those, you mean I got to come back out here? I thought I just had a sack. Still trying to sort out, and you were right all over that, Coach. That is a defensive holding, and that is a killer for Creekside. I mean, they had him off the field on a sack. It would have been 4th and a mile.
Yeah, no field goal on that one.
And instead, it's going to be a first down.
Yeah, it should be 1st and 10 once they mark it off. Yep. Nope, bring up 3rd down, redo the down.
They'll redo it here. Not automatic first down in high school.
Yeah, because the sack took it back, so that was right there, but the holding was over here on the other side, so that's one of those.
8:04 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bartram Trail now gets another chance at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. Dotson gets a snap. He's under pressure, and there's McCoy again. Luther McCoy, the last 3 plays. Wow.
Yeah, they tried run a little boot and get the guard out around there to pin the end, and he never got there. McCoy just came off the edge. He had a really good series on that play. He's still playing hard now. He's still playing hard for Creekside on defense.
Now listen, McCoy was like, I'm not coming off this field without a sack.
Yeah, he was.
He took that last one away
from
me.
Right there. He got four plays in a row. He got 3 sacks.
I mean, he's a big fella too. The junior for Creekside just made 3 straight plays, and that one will get the defense off the field inside 7.5 minutes of play in the 3rd quarter. 4th and a lot. Bartram Trail. Hamilton might have had that blocked.
I think it did.
Just barely blocked. It still moved forward, but not by much. In fact, that ball just crosses where the initial line of scrimmage was, and Creekside will come away with decent field position out about the 27-yard line. Somebody got a fingertip on that one. Hamilton's kick partially blocked. Creekside takes over with 7:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. 21-0. They trail. They've got to get moving. They need to score and try to find some momentum to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that was either Thresher or O'Brien that were in there. It was either one or 4 or both of them together, but that – usually you don't go after that ball when they're on the plus side of the 50 in your territory because of the fake aspect of it, but they went after it right there.
Well, here we go for Creekside. They'll start about their own 26, 1st and 10. Seeger fakes a run. Now we've got a flag, so we'll stop the play. Probably a procedure play against Creekside, so that's not a good way to start this drive. Although they've shown the ability to recover from some of these instances.
Yeah, that's the one that kills the coaches right there, the wideouts moving way out there. Look, get in your stance, look at the ball if you can't hear the count. Don't be jumping off sides. And that's the one coaches get mad at. That's giving up 5 right there. So that's going to make it, 1st and 15 now for Creekside. Bartram continue to run defensive guys in and out, different guys, different packages. Looks like a man, it's nice out there now, Brett.
It's
Weather-wise.
beautiful out now. We got the air condition here in the press box. I mean, what a place here at Bartram Trail. 21-0. Bartram Trail leads Creekside. Seeger gets the snap out of the shotgun. It looks to his left, has Calhoun across the 20. He slips across the 25-yard line, so he picks up about 5 or 6 yards and makes 2nd down more manageable.
Yeah, very, very good hands. Notice how he put both hands on that when he got tackled on that one. He wasn't dropping that ball. He's had a really positive. Both tight ends have had a really positive game.
They've been fun to watch.
Yeah, been good. Again, Creekside's got to get something going. They're just sort of clock's going, clock's running. They got to get some points, and they got to get them in a hurry.
2nd and 9, called the 26-yard line of Creekside. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Strope in the backfield along with Quinn Seeger. Seeger coming off a 6-touchdown performance last week against Nice. He's been shut out here tonight. 5 to go on the play clock. Seeger gets a snap. A quick spin out to Calhoun on the right side, and that thing will fall incomplete. That was fortunate, maybe to not even be intercepted. Ball knocked away. Everybody was there at the same time. Ball, receiver, and defender.
It seems like they're staying away from
Trevez Johnson.
Yeah, Trevez,
We some of these guys, the first game, Fred Davis, the guy's going to Clemson, he's a 5-star. Trevez Johnson's going to Florida. We don't even talk about the guys. You know why? Because they're like Jalen Ramsey. Nobody throws at them.
Yeah, he's just sort of hanging out on this side. And I'd look to make sure he was still out there.
Yeah, he is. He's on the near sideline. He's working against Goodrich, who's been pretty quiet here in this football game. We got a timeout on the field for a water break, and we'll take a timeout as well. 6:14 to go in the third quarter. Nothing doing here early in the second half. 21-0. Bartram Trail leads Creekside in our game of the week. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690.
I think Carson Wentz is going to come back and have a resurgent year.
Are you not concerned at all with the lack of depth at quarterback position? They had to rely a lot on Nick Foles. Carson Wentz gets hurt every year.
Not every year.
Go Lick and Wingo, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Welcome back here to Bartram Trail High School, St. Johns County. 3rd and 9 for Creekside. They get the snap from their own 26. Seeger rolls to his right. Throws down the field to Goodrich. He's got it at the 40, down to the 30, the 20. Just gets tripped up. A touchdown saving tackle by Bartram Trail on the far side. But a big play and a first down. Creekside's in business. Seeger to Goodrich.
Yeah, they did a little play action. He got out of the thing, and the DB just let the wide up, just running a takeoff on him. It wasn't a double move, just sort of takeoff, threw it up, caught it, and they're back in business now.
Well, they've been waiting for that. Jack Goodrich had a fantastic year a season ago. He's off to a great start this year, but last year only one catch for 9 yards against Bartram Trail. A big play just moments ago from Goodrich. Now they're set up inside the 20 of Bartram Trail, and we have another whistle, official timeout.
Why
now we're going to a water break. Well, let's do it again. You thirsty?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Hope you're thirsty back there, Coos, too. We'll take a quick timeout. 6:03 to go in the third. 21-0. Bartram Trail leads Creekside, but the Knights are driving on our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Ryan O'Halloran from the Denver Post, beat writer for the Broncos.
But maybe Cam need that little bit of a kick in the rear end, because over a 48-hour span where Doug is saying probably not for Kansas City, and all of a sudden he's out there with a helmet.
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
1st and 10 for the 19, and Calhoun catches it down at the 7-yard line. Quinn Seeger was being sacked for Creekside. He just threw it up for grabs, and Calhoun, going to East Carolina, catches the ball. It'll be 1st and goal, but a bigger problem for Creekside. Quinn Seeger, the quarterback, is down on the ground around the 30-yard line. He got hit pretty hard. He had to throw the ball, which means sometimes you land on the ground awkwardly when you come down, and he's being attended to by the trainers. Welcome back to our game of the week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Kevin Sullivan, 21-0. Bartram Trail in the lead, but Creekside with back-to-back big plays as Seeger now gets up. They're in business with another chance to get on the scoreboard. 1st and goal at around the 6-yard line of Bartram Trail. More importantly right now is Quinn Seeger, the quarterback for Creekside, will come off the field under his own power. He looks to be okay. He'll have to at least sit out this play, but that's good news for Creekside as he looks to be all right, at least from this angle, and he's far away from the field.
Yeah.
Far across the field.
They tried to run a little stop and go to Calhoun, and then when he pump faked and he scrambled a little bit, and then he just threw it up, and Calhoun did a tremendous job of going up and catching that ball. I tell you what, man, those two tight ends have been tremendous. I'd be getting them the ball now because they're making plays. Both those guys, Jackson Mayer.
And Calhoun, and Goodrich has been quiet, but he just had the big play down the right sideline to set all this up for Creekside. So here we go. Quinn Seeger on the sideline right now for Creekside.
Daniel
that means
Plummer,
Daniel
13.
Plummer, the backup quarterback for Creekside, will come in. And this is really important, this situation. 5:43 to go in the third. Creekside down 3 touchdowns, 21-0. At the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. Plummer in the shotgun. Hands it off to Strope up the middle. Strope inching toward the goal line. He will be denied before he gets in, but he's down to about the 4. Because he looked like he had a head of steam, but then that defensive front for Bartram Trail did a nice job standing him up.
Yeah, that's a real safe play. Got the backup quarterback in for the first time and got a good yard, good push, and now Seeger's back in right now. So we'll see what we get going.
All right, so Seeger from the 4-yard line now, 2nd and goal, and this is a must-have for Creekside. Out of the shotgun, Seeger back in the game after missing the last play. Just got hurt for a moment. Now back in there. Good news for Creekside. Goodrich out to the left. Hines to the right. Strope in the backfield with Seeger. Shotgun, snap. He has it. Off the middle to Calhoun, and does Calhoun have it?
Wow.
Wow, he threaded the needle. What a catch, what a throw. Seeger to Calhoun for a touchdown, and Creekside's on the board.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good catch right there. He had a linebacker in front of him and DB in the back. And Seeger threw the ball sort of down low where the only place he could catch it. Boy, Shane Calhoun went down and got that ball. Man, I'll tell you what, that's a really big-time play right there, both those guys.
I'll tell you what, it's a great play on all sides. It was just fantastic coverage.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything about it.
Put it right there. Kid made a play. Now they had to do what they needed to do there to get points on that drive. So
Andrew Darajati comes in for the extra point now. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. Darajati nails the extra point, and with 4:48 to go in the third quarter, 21-7, Creekside on the board, and maybe has some momentum, Coach.
Yeah, they needed that. That was big for them. They like I said, they've been in the game, but again, they're getting the ball. Goodrich makes a good catch, a good run, and then Calhoun makes 2 really good plays to keep him out and get him in the end zone. So again, this will be a big series for Bartram. It'll be a big series for Creekside too. Maybe the momentum changes and starts shifting to Creekside right now.
I mean, you think about this game, and football's like this, right? It's big plays.
Right.
And there's been a bunch of big plays. And you can list off a handful of plays for Bartram Trail. You can really list off a handful of plays for Creekside. They've come up big on a lot of occasions, both offensively and defensively. And we talked about it at halftime. Probably 3 plays in this game, all turnovers, led to 21 points directly being on or off the scoreboard. And look where we're at. It's a 2-touchdown game with plenty of time on the clock.
Plenty of time.
So it's going to be fun here in St. Johns County to see how this one wraps up. Bartram Trail now gets a chance to go steal the momentum back.
Yeah, Creekside's not going away now. They're still going to be around. They might be like the little brother, the pester, but they're going to make this a game.
Well, and how about this too? Don't you get a little confidence from last week coming back against Nice? You're down 17-0.
Yep.
You win 58-51. You know you can score.
Yep.
You like your ability to quick strike with Calhoun and Goodrich and Seeger. And I bet they gained a little confidence in this kind of situation from a week ago.
Well, I mean, again, they've had two turnovers, or actually 3 turnovers inside the 15. And, again, we can't harp on that enough. So I look for a really big series for them defensively. Defense to come out pumped up.
Darajati with the kick from the 40. And that one will land in the end zone.
Yeah,
so both kickers doing a fantastic job. And Bartram Trail will start on their own 20-yard line. And, let's talk about the coaches, Darryl Sutherland, and we talk about Sean McIntyre. They're doing a nice job with Creekside as he continues to build this. But we got to give credit to some of the other coaches. Keith Cromwell's been around, Bartram Trail defensive coordinator for a really, really long time. And Tyler Thomas, Paul Belsick, Tim Statz, Rob Muley. They've all done they've created such a good culture at Bartram Trail, and their defense has really taken a turn this year. If people around this school and talking about high school football, they're talking about Bartram Trail's defense.
Right.
And it's on display again tonight for the most part, even though they just did give up a score.
But they played real solid, too, now.
So here comes Bartram Trail. Looks to be Dotson in the game. They'll shuffle quarterbacks at times. 2 running backs back there. Dotson keeps it, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. What a big play once again by Creekside. And it is Ryan Newman
number
doing
15,
the job
Ryan
that
Newman.
time.
Yeah, good job, little zone read play, and I think he just read that wrong, truthfully. But again, Creekside's doing a good job. Again, they said they've been 4-man down, and they've been playing in and out between 3 down and 4 down this game.
Handful of yards lost on that play, 2nd and 15 now, as they hand off to Jones this time, and he crosses the 15-yard line, gets out to the 17, but it'll bring up 3rd and long once again for Bartram Trail. Another chance for Creekside to get off the football field in a 3-and-out.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the guys inside. McCoy, the nose guard, Tucker Owens has played well. Charles Maxwell's played well. The linebackers, Jake Spiller's been in and out. Ryan Newman's played pretty good. They've done a pretty good job defensively, you know. So we'll see if we find Jackson Mayer on this 3rd down, because that seems to be the go-to.
Hurricane Dorian didn't allow them to practice, but they could talk about that 51 points given up last week all week.
Yes.
So 3rd and 12 now. We'll call it from the 18-yard line. Dotson gets it, quick spin, and almost picked off. Oh, he would have had a pick 6 on the quick throw, and that was Tucker Owens that almost walked into the end zone. And Bartram Trail fortunate to punt this one away.
Yeah, they were trying to get the ball to Jackson Mayer on a little bit of a slant, and Owens got his hand. Tucker Owens got his hand up on a tip ball, and then the safety come running in there to pick it.
Owens did that earlier this year against Ribault. They were up 21-20, and he iced the game with a pick 6 late in that game for Creekside. That was their first win, 27-20, and he almost got them on the scoreboard again in this one against Bartram Trail.
Oh, this big punt here. Got to see if we change field position for Bartram.
18-yard line. Hamilton had the last one partially blocked, gets some pressure, and now did he do an acting job? Because he goes down. And he might win an Oscar for that, but he won't draw a flag.
The official been around a while. I think Ray's the head guy back there, and he's been around. He's seen a lot of that going on right there, but really not that great of a punt. You know,
well,
it was probably
pressure
again.
Yeah, Creekside all of a sudden the last couple of kicks have been getting some pressure, and Hamilton he felt the pressure, and he did a kind of an NBA soccer kind of flop.
Sure. He took a flop.
You had to try.
Hey, why not? Yeah, you might get a flag, might get a 5, give him re-kick it again. But Creekside, good field position right at midfield, and coming off a good drive, getting points. Let's see what they do on this one. I can tell you who I'm getting the ball to. Shane, my man Shane, has been killing it tonight.
Calhoun's been unbelievable. And keep an eye on Goodrich, number 10 as well, as they will start right at midfield after the 32-yard kick by Hamilton. Seeger went out for one play because of a quick little injury, came back in, led him to a touchdown to Calhoun on the last drive. Here he goes out of the shotgun again from midfield. Handoff to Strope. Strope has it across midfield, churns those legs and gets down to about the 48-yard line with 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, 21-7. Bartram leads it, but Creekside's got a ton of momentum.
Yeah, they're just going to stay in game plan, no panic. No, they're just going to play and do what they do. I look for maybe to take a shot over here, but they're not. Johnson's over here just hanging out. They could probably put him by 2 guys. They're going to throw the ball over here. So.
Wow, Travis Johnson doing a nice job all day on Goodrich. He's worked against him on this play as well. Seeger out of the shotgun, hands it to Strope, and Strope looked like he had a seam, but nice job by the edge of Bartram Trail. They're able to get in there, and maybe a yard gain for Strope. That's it. Bring up a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, Brian Bobbin right on the tackle right there. Did a nice job hanging on and holding them down. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 8. So we've talked about the tight ends have been the go-to on 3rd down.
2 wide receivers left, one to the right. Seeger clapping his hands. Now they all stand up and look to the sideline. Goodrich match up against Travis Johnson. Johnson, a Florida Gator commit. McGuff's on the other side. Preston Strope in the backfield with Seeger. Seeger in the shotgun, gets a low snap, now rolls to his left. He's a left-handed quarterback, and he throws short to Hines, and it bounces in there incomplete. He had him, but just couldn't get enough mustard on it.
Yeah, he wish he could get that throwback. As soon as we released it, he started jumping up and down. You could tell that, man, I short-armed that a little bit, and he knew it going in. So they're going to punt here, but, perfect place for a fake. You're down 21-7. You're coming into the end of the third quarter, ball's at midfield. I don't think Bartram's going to rush him to play for the fake, but we'll see what happens.
Earl Thresher will do the punting duties, and Travis Johnson, as I just mentioned, he's the fantastic defensive back committed to Florida. Also will play a little bit of wide receiver, and, well, listen, he's probably the best athlete on the field, and so they put him back there for punt returns as well. He's down by his 10-yard line. Low snap.
Oh, bad snap.
And now Thresher just gets it, gathers, and fortunately they had no rush on, so he's able to kick it away, and it lands around the 25, and a good Creekside roll inside the 20, close to the 15. That was near disaster But fortunately, because of what you talked about, they did not have any pressure on the kick, and he was able to gather the low snap and get it away.
Yeah, usually when you go safe punt, you still send one guy real hard off the edge, and since he's been a roll punter to the right, they probably would have sent the backside guy off real fast, but they didn't. Nobody really rushed, but he got a good kick, good roll, about 37-yard punt there. So, again, Bartram's got a long way to go and still got some momentum. Creekside did a nice job, didn't get much going offensively, but they still got him pinned in field position.
Well, you got the sense there was that chance right there for Creekside, right? I bet the Knights are probably like, oh, man, we have that midfield, right? But 21-7, 2:19 to go in the third quarter. Now we'll see what Bartram Trail can do. Dotson in the game. Pitch out to
double pass.
A.J. Jones, who's now going to throw it down the field. And Rhodes is caught. He caught it. How did Rhodes catch it? What a catch by Zach Rhodes. It might have been interference, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, man, that was a heck of a catch. I'd like to see that on the replay.
Wow, you will see it. I mean, we're a little blocked out by the near sideline, but what a throw and catch. It was Weatherly with the throw, and somehow it looked like Rhodes.
Oh, they did call it.
It was clearly interference, but Rhodes, I think, might have wrapped his arms around the defender and caught it.
Oh, wow, man. That was it was a tough. I'm going to have to get online and check that one out. I'm going to have to look at that again.
No pressure, Marcel Robinson. We hope you got that one. He's not right next to us, so we hope you got that one. Anyway, it's first down inside Creekside territory with the play from Weatherly to Rhodes, and now Malik Joseph gets the handoff, and he gets inside the 45.
Yeah, again, they rotate. They got three good backs, all pretty similar. They all run the ball real hard. Well, one of them can throw it. You know, we just saw that.
Yeah, Weatherly played like everything.
Weatherly.
School and Pop Warner, so that was a nice throw. I thought it was Jones at first, but it was Weatherly in the game. He's still in the game now. Dotson, quick throw out and miscommunication because the receiver wasn't ready. And I think it might have hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah, he was going to block, and I think he was supposed to get the ball. But, again, when you're doing, when you're calling stuff on a sideline and you're giving those kids a little leeway to do some things, you're going to have that, you're going to have that a little bit. So, 3rd and 6, big third down for Creekside's defense here.
44-yard line it will come from inside Creekside territory. 1:32 to go in the third quarter. 21-7, Bartram Trail in the lead. Two receivers right, one to the left. And the handoff to Jones, and it looks like he stayed on his feet enough to get the first down. It'll come down to the spot. The run was up the middle. He's down inside the 40, and I think the chains were on the move initially, and now they're going to call it fourth down.
Be short.
Well, here we go. Sets up fourth and inches.
Yep.
No doubt the offense of Bartram Trail staying on the field.
They're not going to go off this. They'll take their time a little bit.
Now, they usually operate out of the shotgun. So.
Right. Probably take it, see what they're going to give them a little bit, make a little no call here and see if we get them to jump. Creekside's going to bring a little pressure on this one.
A.J. Jones in the backfield. He gets the handoff, and he is met immediately. And do they stop him? Yes, they do.
Did.
A host of Creekside Knights on fourth down. It's Tucker Owens again. What a big play by Owens and the Creekside defense as Bartram Trail will turn it over on downs, and the Creekside sidelines fired up.
That was the exact same play they scored in the first quarter on the touchdown. They had that little motion guy come back and then become the lead blocker and then wrap both of the backs around. And they did a nice job. Tucker Owens knifed in on that and hit him in the backfield for no gain. That's big. That's a big series for Creekside.
Well, it really is. And obviously some time goes off the clock. There's 47.6 to go in the third quarter, down 2 scores. But it's really not that different a situation they were in the last time they were on offense. Pretty good field position. Had it at midfield the last time, now at their own 40. But if you think they give up the big razzle-dazzle play, the great catch from Zach Rhodes, and they still are able to stop him and maybe keep some of that momentum. We'll see where this thing turns out as we head into the fourth quarter in just a moment.
Little bend, don't break there on defense.
Trips to the right. Strope now goes in motion to the right. Seeger looking deep down the sideline, the right sideline. And do we have another great catch? Yes, we do. It's Jack Goodrich. What a catch by Goodrich. Does he stay in bounds? He does. There is a flag. We'll see. I think Bartram Trail wants to see offensive, but I think this is going to be defensive pass interference. Let's see what the officials say. There is a flag still around the 36-yard line.
Well, they moved the chain, so it's got to be on defense. He's still got the spot there.
What Bartram Trail was asking for, too, is they thought it was incomplete. Instead, it was just a fantastic catch from Jack
another
Goodrich.
great.
How about the plays we're seeing tonight?
I think the officials might be a little confused right here.
Well, there was a flag.
Yeah, he definitely threw the flag, and they haven't picked it up and waved it to mean it was no penalty.
I like that Creekside and really both teams are going to their playmakers.
Oh, yeah.
They're starting to say, hey, we're going to try to get it to Goodrich. We're going to get it to Calhoun. On the other side, Rhodes has been very active for Bartram Trail. Obviously, Weatherly and A.J. Jones touching the football, you know. And Mayer's been fantastic, Jackson Mayer, for Bartram Trail. So these playmakers are really making plays here in this St. Johns County showdown on ESPN 690. 38 seconds to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Bartram Trail 31-yard line. Quick strike to Hines. Hines is down inside the 25. Let's call it the 22-yard line, and really close to another Creekside first down.
Yeah, again, they're just sort of getting him 3 by 1 and then emptying the motion and just taking what they give him. And Bartram's giving them all the short stuff and just rallying to the ball.
Clock rolling now inside, 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. Creekside looking to the sideline. I'm not sure they were even going to get another play off, Coach.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run when Coach McIntyre's telling them to come over there to the sideline.
This is going to set up an interesting fourth quarter because all of a sudden Creekside has a ton of momentum. They're marching again, 23 yards away from another score, and if they get in here, they make it a one-score football game. Bartram Trail leads it 21-7 as we head into the fourth on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Hang with us from down in St. Johns County. A beautiful night, and we've got one heck of a football game.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
It's time to chub it up with my favorite wings in the Jacksonville area. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go. 2 locations, one on the west side and one in Fleming Island. I've been to both. Then I called the owner up and said, hey, I like the wings so much, I want to endorse them. It's a true story. And here we are. Bring the family on Mondays to the Fleming Island location for 50-cent wings. Tuesdays at the West Side location, it's all-you-can-eat wings. Try the Maple Cajun or the Johnny-style wings. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings. Welcome back here, fourth quarter action from St. Johns County. Our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with Kevin Sullivan. 21-7, Bartram leads it. 12 minutes to go in the football game. Creekside, 2nd and 2 for Bartram's 23. The snap to Seeger. Looks right now, runs left, has some room, has a first down to the 15, maybe the 10. There's a flag in the holding area. A late flag it was, and really unnecessary because Seeger had clearly picked up the first down.
Yeah, I think that was a definite hold. The lineman he called it on when he threw it sort of looked at the official and just sort of shrugged his shoulders like, okay, you got me on that one. But, again, I really like what they're doing in this formation, Brent. They're in 10 personnel, which means they're 1 back, no tight. They're 3 wide outs, trips open, and then they're motioning the back to go to 4 to solid to one side, and then they're nickel and diming them in that time. Seeger could just take off and took off running.
It is a holding penalty, and a costly one at that, because the momentum had stayed with Creekside and a new set of downs. So instead, it's 2nd and 13. The ball backs up to the 34-yard line of Bartram Trail.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get the play in and changed it twice now. Now they sort of got what they want.
Trips to the right. 1 receiver left. Strope now going in motion. Last time they did this play, they went deep to Goodrich. Seeger looking under pressure. Now rolls to the left. He escapes. Almost out of bounds. Stays in there and maybe picks up a few yards down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it makes it a manageable 3rd down and it looks like about 8.
This is 4-down territory
right
too, probably, right?
Yeah, fourth quarter. Down 2 scores. Bartram continues to run D linemen in and out of the game. Looks like they got a good rotation of guys trying to keep them fresh. How hot it is tonight.
3rd and 10. 2 receivers right. It's McGuff and Hines. Goodrich out to the left. In the shotgun, Seeger with Strope. He's been his buddy in the backfield most of the evening. 11:15 to go in the football game. 21-7, Bartram Trail. This is a huge moment in the game on this drive. 3rd and 10 from the 32. 1-yard line of Bartram.
Good Richard Calhoun.
4 on the play clock. Seeger gets a snap, rolls right.
Got Hines.
Has some room. Now he launches it down the field, and Hines gets tripped up and almost intercepted as Hines had some space, but then couldn't find the ball. When he did, he got tripped up a little bit, and that was well defended in the end zone after all that. 4th and 10 it will bring up for Creekside.
Yeah, they get a little roll pass out there, trying to run a little corner concept in there, and Seeger was getting ready to throw it and then got pressure right in his face, so sort of had to pull it down and then tried to force it there into the end zone. But, again, 4th down, big play for both guys. I'd be looking for Shane Calhoun right now.
That was Craig Sinclair on the coverage for Bartram Trail, and it was pretty good. I thought he even had a chance maybe to pick that thing off in the end zone. So here we go, big play, 4th and 10 from the 31. Creekside snaps it to Seeger. Seeger launches it to the right side, throws it up for grabs.
Oh,
and
good play.
It looks like Goodrich is defended on the play, and it's Eilers again.
Yep,
Evan Eilers has had himself a nice game, a fumble recovery, and he just stopped Creekside on downs as Goodrich had the ball knocked away on a 4th and 10. He had it for a moment, and then it was knocked away, so Bartram Trail takes over on downs.
Yeah, I tell you, Eilers did a real nice job, and, we're going to call his name because they're not throwing the ball on Johnson on the top, to Quez Johnson. So they've been going, so you got to have another good corner on that side. So that was a really good play right there.
Also a turnover on downs and a big moment in the football game.
That holding penalty.
Yeah, holding penalty was huge. They had it inside the 15. So big mistakes, costly times. Sean McIntyre, the head coach of Creekside, will be talking about those plays for a long time. Bartram Trail now on offense. It's Dotson. He hands it off. And Weatherly, I think, has the ball and not much doing on the right side. Maybe a yard for Weatherly.
Luther McCoy on the tackle.
McCoy is all over the place in the
second half.
He really is. 52 is everywhere. By the way, if you look out on the field, 52 is the biggest guy out there.
Yeah, he's pretty good size, but
he's played.
He's fired up about playing this game.
He's only a junior.
Yep.
It's not his last time he'll face Bartram Trail. He's having a big one. Now 2nd down and 9 for Bartram Trail. Out of the shotgun, a handoff on the inside, and nothing doing again. The interior, led by McCoy, is doing a fantastic job for Creekside.
Yeah, McCoy and Newman and Spillers in there getting it tied up, and they're sort of dominating the run game inside. They haven't been able to run it much inside at all.
Remember, A.J. Jones had a 90-yard kickoff return to start this game, and then he scored after the fumble recovery. 2 minutes in, he had 2 touchdowns. Been relatively quiet ever since then. Nothing doing on the 2nd down play. 3rd and 8 from their own 33-yard line. Bartram Trail, 2 wide receivers left. Dotson in the shotgun once again. Dotson gets the snap. Now he's going to take it. Not even look to throw. It's just a run play, a design run up the middle, and he picks up just 3 yards. That's it to the 35, and very safe for Bartram Trail there. They'll punt it away once again. Brian McKnight gets the stop.
Yeah, they look like they're going to be real conservative and let their defense just play. Their defense has answered the challenge all night. They've played really well, and they weren't going to do anything stupid down here on this end. They hopefully get a good punt. They better not get it blocked now. They've been close. They got it one time, close the second time right now.
Well, you got 9, 10, and rolling to go in the football game, so the possessions become a minimum, and Darryl Sutherland and Bartram Trail know that, especially how good their defense has been most of the evening. Punt formation.
They came
and
after.
Almost got it again.
Nice
Hamilton
punt.
able to get a beauty away, though, and we'll see if Wilhelm has any room. He takes a step right, now back to the left, and nowhere to go. Good coverage, good special teams. Special teams can win the day. What a punt by Hamilton that time. Ralph Hamilton delivered in the clutch.
Yeah, about 47, almost 50-yard punt in the air with no return. Good coverage. I thought at first he kicked it so far he's going to outkick his coverage. He was going to get a little crease. Wilhelm had the big punt return last week, 48 yards, that sort of got him going in the second half. But Bartram did a good job of covering that up.
Bobin Reith right there for the stop, and a nice open field special teams tackle by him. And all in all, a lot of pressure on that kick, too.
Oh, yeah, they came after it. Well, they've got it. They've been close, and they've already got one before. So it's crazy what's going on.
All right, here we go. 8:48 to go, and an important drive for Creekside. They almost have to cash in here, Coach.
Oh, yeah, without
see.
a doubt.
In the shotgun formation, Seeger on 1st and 10. Fakes it, now throws it to Hines, and Hines, he short-hopped Hines again as Hines was running in the flat, not able to stop on a dime and catch it, so it brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was just a little play action trying to get it out there fast and get it going. He threw that into the ground.
So 2nd and 10 from the 20. 8:41 to go. Clock stops. Down 2 scores for Creekside. Bartram Trail up 21-7 here at home in our Action Sports Shacks game of the week on ESPN 690. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Now Strope goes in motion. Seeger, left-handed quarterback, throws it to no man's land. Goodrich and Calhoun in the area, but there was miscommunication because that fell incomplete. Nobody had a chance.
Yeah, it's a really good job in the secondary, but the defensive line guys and the outside backers, they're sort of pinning it back and going. They know they're not going to run the ball in this situation unless it's a quarterback scramble. So the DBs are keeping everything in front. You know, they're not going to let Calhoun beat them on a play up through the seam. So brings up a big 3rd down.
So 3rd and 10 from their own 20. 8:38 to go in the football game here in St. Johns County. 21-7, Bartram Trail. Seeger out of the shotgun, gets the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back, has a little time, looks deep down the middle of the field. It's McGuff. He's under it, and he just can't haul it in. Right at the last moment, it looks like Trevez Johnson might have broken it up. McGuff got behind Johnson for a step, and Johnson able to actually, it might be Sinclair. Is that Craig Sinclair? Is that 2 or 6, Coach?
I think that's Johnson. That's Johnson on defense. That's 6.
Johnson.
Yep.
Okay.
And
he's cramping,
yeah,
too.
He's cramping
once
a
he
little bit.
cramped, I said maybe it's Sinclair.
Well,
Because he had the cramp
he had
earlier.
it before. But again, they haven't even tried him, so they figured they'd take a shot. But he did a nice job, made a nice recovery on it, let him get behind him. And, you know, that's why he's a big-time player right there. But he hasn't had any action at all. He might be – I don't know why he's cramping.
Yeah, we see that in Sundays in Jacksonville, the closing speed, and that's what Johnson showed off. He got beat. And McGuff had it. He was trying to haul that thing in, and for a second it looked like it was going to be a completed pass. It was a nice throw by Seeger.
Yeah, really nice throw. But Trevez Johnson made a really nice play.
Well, nonetheless, it brings up 4th down, so now Creekside has to punt with 8.5 to go. Thresher.
Oh, he blocked
on
it.
the play. And
And
into
touchdown.
the end zone and a touchdown for Bartram Trail. Special teams comes up big once again. What a play by Bartram Trail. Thresher this time had that one blocked.
I can't quite see who it is.
That was too much jubilation. We know this. It's good for 6 either way. It was a block, a recovery, and a touchdown, all by the same young man.
Yeah, he had a nice job fielding that ball off the ground after he blocked it. That was a really good job. That was really
We're
good
still trying
play.
to figure it out, Coach.
I wasn't
And
sure.
we'll get it.
It was one of the guys on the inside. I thought it was
We think it might be Bobenreath again, who just had the nice tackle on special teams, but I'm not so sure. We'll get it for you either way. The kick goes in by Greg, and now it's 28-7, and that might be the clincher here in St. Johns County.
Yes. Yeah, I think that was a good play. Again, special teams have been cute. They've scored twice on special teams on that one right there. You know, they had the kick return and then the block punt. The block punt's the worst thing a coach could go through. 9 out of 10 times you get a punt block, it's over.
Well, how about this? It's Ralph Hamilton who comes up with it. We finally cleared the air. It was number 24, Ralph Hamilton, who, by the way, is the punter. Had one partially blocked, and now on special teams he goes and blocks.
Yeah, he's letting him know he can play now. He can play. He's not just a punter.
Recovers it and ends up in the end zone. How about that?
Yeah, Coach McIntyre, he's not real happy about something over there right now. He was giving the official a real hard time about that. But again, they've been hanging around. Bartram really hasn't done much in the second half, but that was a big play right there. Might have put this game away.
That was the trifecta right there for a special teams guy.
Sure.
What's interesting in this football game, you mentioned the special teams play, and obviously Bartram Trail at the end of the day is going to win that special teams. It might have just bookended with a couple of big scores to lead off the game and maybe now just finish off the scoring. But Bartram Trail has been a little bit under pressure on the punts.
Right.
And this time they turned the tables and put the pressure on Thresher. And what a play by
I thought,
Ralph Hamilton.
Yeah, and I also thought Bartram was sort of playing it safe and just sent the guy up the gut, and he just did it.
Now here's the kickoff to Goodrich. Takes it at his own 5-yard line. Runs to the right side, the near side. Crosses the 20. And he'll be out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. And now you get a little bit in desperate mode if you're Creekside, down 3 scores with 8:18 to go.
Yeah, they're just going to keep doing what they do. You know, they're going to try to get some points on the board. See if they take a shot early, if they just sort of nickel and dime what they've been doing. But again, Bartram has done a really good job defensively pretty much the whole game. They've bent a little bit sometimes. They've had a couple turnovers that they forced to help them out, and then to get the big special teams play. But that was a really good play by that young man.
Zach Morse on the last tackle for special teams. 8:18 to go in the football game. Brett Martin along with Kevin Sullivan. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Seeger out of the shotgun. Flips it left to Calhoun. Calhoun will catch the ball across the 30, down to the 32-yard line. For a moment there, it looked like he was going to break away again.
Well, if he'd have broke that one, we would have been in a track meet for that thing right there. But
he's fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. Really good. Both these teams, well coached, still running their stuff, and Bartram doing a good job running guys in and out of the game, trying to keep them fresh even with 8 minutes to go in the game.
7:52 and counting in the football game, 28-7. Creekside second down and short from their own 32-yard line. Trips to the right, one to the left. Seeger fakes the handoff, drops back the pass, looks down the field, looks to McGuff and Calhoun, both in the area. Ball falls incomplete around the right hash, and it will bring up third and short.
Yeah, they're just taking a shot on second and short. They're going to take a shot because you've got the third down. It's 4-down territory now anyways, so whatever they do, it's 4-down territory.
Special thanks once again to our sponsors for bringing us the Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Mr. Chubby's Wings, Baker's Sports, and Lusab Honda of the Avenues. Fourth quarter action, 7.5 minutes to play. 28-7 Bartram Trail in this rivalry game here in St. Johns County on a beautiful night, packed house. Even though it's Saturday and not a Friday night, Hurricane Dorian moving this game around a bit. Happy to bring it to you, though. Seeger with the snap, hands it to Strope. Strope had a little bit of a seam, enough to get the first down and get up to the 35-yard line before he's leg tackled by Bartram Trail.
Yeah, again, I can't say enough about the play of both tight ends tonight. Both guys have made really good plays. They block. They do whatever they're asked to do. They're athletic. They can line up in the backfield. They line up at tight end. They line up at wide out. Real impressed with both those tight ends.
Juan Ruiz with the stop that time for Bartram Trail. Trips to the right now for Creekside on a first down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Seeger with the snap. Shotgun looks deep again. Goodrich has a little bit of space. And
nice play.
Does he catch it? He caught the ball. How did he catch that football down at the 18-yard line? What a play by Jack Goodrich. It looked like it was bouncing loose. And if you're watching the video feed, well, you'll understand my reaction. That looked like an incomplete pass. He caught it, and then it was knocked out once he hit the ground. And the official said he had it long enough. And you know what? In live action, I think the official is probably right there.
I don't know about that now. I thought it went right through, and the guy tipped the ball, went right through his hands and hit the ground. The ball bounced on the ground and rolled to the end zone. I don't know about that.
Hey, Coach, you're going to be living on that video feed after this game.
I'm gonna have to get up on there.
But nonetheless, it's a big play of 30 yards, and now we go 1st and 10 for Creekside. Now Seeger looking right, and it almost is picked off in the end zone or at the 1-yard line. That was either Johnson or Sinclair.
That was Fields on the defensive play. Should have picked that. And his helmet came off, so he's got to come out.
That was Sinclair.
Sinclair?
You can tell who Sinclair is, Coach, because he's got the cramps.
Oh, there you go. That's right. It was.
He limps after every play. Not laughing at him there, but I can just identify him. That's why.
He should have caught that ball. That's probably why he cramped up. Get off the field.
By the way, my wife wouldn't be happy. I did some really bad math on the last catch by Goodrich. That really goes for 46 yards at the very least.
Well, if it was
the
a catch,
scoreboard
but they said it was.
Said the 35-yard line. It was really the 18. I should have noticed that. 6.5 to go. Creekside trying to get in the score. Hines goes in motion. Seeger on second down. Launches down the field. And out of bounds in the end zone. Had nothing doing. Good coverage. That one was probably Trevez Johnson on the other side of the field.
Yeah, we got a water break. 6 minutes to go, 6:28.
Well, we'll catch our breath and get some water as well on a steamy day in St. Johns County. Bartram Trail in the lead, 28-7 on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. 6.5 minutes to play. Hang with us.
The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. A rivalry continues this weekend. Saturday at 3:30 Eastern and Sunday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Indeed.
Hi, Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options, and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
And now, welcome back, everybody, to our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week. Creekside driving down 3 scores, 6.5 minutes to play. Seeger out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Off the back foot, throws it up for grabs to Calhoun. Almost picked off, and then almost caught by Calhoun. Either way, it falls incomplete. The secondary of Bartram Trail, very good. Trevez Johnson had just left the game for a bit because of his cramps, it looks like, in his calf. Sinclair, who's been fantastic all year for Bartram Trail, has left the game on several occasions because of cramping issues. But these guys continue to get it done. They keep bouncing back in and out of the football game once they get enough fluids.
Yeah, they get in and out of the game, but they're going to be throwing pretty much every play, so they're going to be running those DBs in and out of there.
All right, so here we go. Fourth down and 10 at the 18-yard line of Bartram Trail for Creekside. They need a first down, 6:20 to go in the football game, down 28-7. Seeger drops back, launches over the middle, launches too high for Calhoun. He never had a chance. And Creekside will turn it over on downs. Bartram Trail, a little bend after the big play by Goodrich, and it's debatable whether that was a catch or not. Either way, if it goes as a catch, it was a fantastic play.
Exactly.
But Bartram Trail able to hold Creekside once again and leave them out of the end zone.
Yeah, Bartram knew they were throwing that to Calhoun. They baited the outside backer like he was blitzing, ran up underneath him, sort of bracket cover him. So that guy over the top, then that guy up underneath him, and then he threw the ball over the top on the 4th down play. So we'll see Bartram if they're going to be conservative and just sort of run it out and eat up the clock.
6:15 to go in the football game. 28-7 is our score. Bartram Trail jumped out to a 14-0 lead, led 21-0 at halftime. Then it was a score by Creekside and a lot of momentum on their side to make it 21-7, but a blocked kick and score by Ralph Hamilton might have sealed the deal. Dotson gets the handoff, actually takes the snap and keeps it himself, rolls left, and he looked to throw it for a moment, but he really just took a sack instead.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get the DB to move a little bit right there.
You know, hats off to this Creekside defensive staff. Again, they gave up 51 points last week. Oscar Lujan, Justin Rollins, John Chick, the former Jacksonville Jaguars player, now coaching the D lineman here for Creekside. Donna Luchik, the linebackers coach. They have done a really nice job in a week where you had one day to prep for Bartram Trail, who can be very good and very efficient on offense. And you know what? When they look at this tape and when you go back to this game, I think they're going to say, you know what, our defense did a really nice job.
Yeah, after coming out with they gave up 600-something yards last week to Nice and giving up 51 points, I thought they've done a really good job. And I watched them a little bit on film on that Nice game a little bit, and I was like, oh, man, this could be a big track meet game again. But I think they've had a good plan. I think the kids have played hard on both sides. Been a clean game, as Coach Sutherland said. This rivalry is a clean rivalry. And but I tell you what, it's a lot closer game than the score is 28-7. So
2 big special teams plays in this game. One to start and maybe one to finish the scoring. If it stays this way, 28-7, 5:55 to go in the football game. Some of the fans here in St. Johns County getting ready to go back home on a Saturday night. Really had a fantastic crowd for both sides. Dotson now with the pitch to Weatherly, and Weatherly is bottled up in a host of Creekside tacklers, able to stop him for probably a loss of a couple.
Yeah, I tell you, like I said, they're playing on defense now. They've got a good scheme of what they're trying to do, and they're playing. We got one big lineman coming off the field.
It looks like that is number 79, Hunter Hartzell, who has battled some injuries, and Hartzell now comes off the field. You know what? I think it's a cramp again for him, too.
Yeah, anytime the officials or the trainers grab the toe and start pointing the toe, it's pretty much a cramp.
Coach, here's the deal. I mean, how deep into the season do we have to get around here in Northeast Florida before you stop talking about cramping? Remember our first game, I think it was like the theme in the second half. Everybody was cramping.
Right.
We're astonished that nobody was in the first half. It was so hot. Well, here we are again on a steamy Saturday. It's a hot weekend in Jacksonville, in the area, And no surprise to see the cramping, especially given a short week where there wasn't a lot of school
right,
and
yeah.
not a lot of practice.
Not a lot of moving, not a lot of sweating probably till yesterday morning or yesterday at practice or whatnot. So, again, and they're high school kids, and they've been sitting around at home playing the Xbox or the Switch or whatever heck they play these days. I don't even know. I don't even know what they're doing.
We
but,
just hope they're
crazy.
watching on YouTube
yes,
and Facebook
we
and Twitch
definitely.
and Twitter and all of that. All right, it's third and a bundle for Bartram Trail. Dotson gets it, swings it out, and that's a little
razzle-dazzle
yeah,
this late.
More razzle-dazzle, but doesn't do anything. On a hook and ladder kind of play.
That's a little dangerous this late in the game. Little dangerous.
Step out of bounds to get to the original line. They'll bring up fourth down, and now it's really Creekside that needs a big special teams play if they can try to pull off some miracle in the last 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've rushed. They've got a partial block. They'd almost blocked the second one. So I believe they'll all go after this one right now.
What a fourth quarter Ralph Hamilton had. He's back to punt, and his last kick, he was under pressure, but he got it away for 50 yards. And then he just blocked, recovered, and scored a touchdown on the other side of things. Creekside comes after him, but he gets it away, and it's a decent kick, a fair catch right at midfield. Wilhelm has it, and that's where Creekside once again sets up with pretty good field position.
Good field position. 5:22 to go in the game. So, again, Creekside's got to be in the hurry up. The defensive guys, I'll tell you, the D linemen love this part because they know there's no run threat now. We got to tee it back and go now. Go get them. That's when you want to play defense. Everybody's trying to get in there and get a sack. But I'll tell you what, they've done a good job, really. They've rotated their kids on defense. They kept the inside guys pretty fresh. I thought they played really well with their guys.
Pretty well-played ball game. A lot of fun, a lot of good plays, and now we'll see if we've got a couple more left in us. Midfield, 1st and 10, and Seeger now has the snap go over his head. Not sure he was ready for that snap right away, and for the second time tonight we've seen that, a big loss. He falls on it back at the 37, so that will bring up 2nd and 23 after the errant snap.
Yeah, they're rotating guys in. Ruiz is in the game right now, doing a real good job. The linebackers, they've got a good rotation of their linebackers in. Carson Powell's in, Eric Yarby's in. So good rotation of their guys.
Inside 5 minutes ago now, Seeger gets the snap to Calhoun at midfield. He crosses into Bartram Trail territory and down to the 48-yard line, a pickup of about 15 yards. So that sets up a manageable 3rd and, let's call it, 8.
Third and 8. Again, it's 4th down territory, so you're not in any hurry. But, again, Bartram they're rushing 3 now, dropping some coverage stuff, playing a spy on the quarterback, giving them all the short stuff, rallying to it.
Creekside gets it out to Hines on a 3rd down quick as they hurry things up now a little bit, pick up 4 or 5 yards, and now here's the play for Creekside to keep them in the football game. It's going to be 4th and a long 3 from the Bartram Trail 43-yard line. No doubt Creekside trying to move a little quicker than they have been most of the game, and appropriately so. 4:13 to go in the football game, down 28-7, and it looks like we do have a timeout.
They got the clock. They ran the clock a little bit, so they had the officials' timeout. They didn't stop it when he went out of bounds. So here's 4th down play right here.
4th and 3 from the 43 of Bartram Trail. Creekside just trying to keep this thing alive. Give us a little drama down the stretch. 4:22 to go in the game. 28-7, Bartram leads it. Seeger out of the shotgun. Oh, they might have moved, Coach. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So they're having all sorts of snap issues now on this set of downs.
And again, we talked about early in the broadcast, they've got a new center that didn't know he was playing center till yesterday morning. So it was the right guard. JoJo's out. JoJo Lima's out. And
Hunter Jones
Hunter's
moved over.
there. And then Quentin Galen's playing right guard.
And even at one time, Chris Morales had to go
he had
into
to come
this
in too.
football game.
So, again, you got to – that's the most important guy, especially if you're going to shotgun every play as your center.
Yeah.
Quarterback's great, running back's great, but if you can't get the ball, you're in trouble.
Well, here we go. Now it's 4th and 8, so a little more difficult on this play to kind of keep the game going. Seeger gets it, rolls to his right. He looks down the field, and he has Hines. He finds it for a 1st down. Hines stays on his feet down to the 25-yard line, so a very nice throw. Had some mustard on that one to Quinn Seeger.
Yeah, he threw that on the beam. Threw it to him coming out of the break and put it right on him and got the 1st down and broke the tackle. So good job right there for Creekside. So we got 1st and 10 coming up with about 4 minutes left in the game. Creekside still trying, want to keep fighting, trying to get some more points on the board. There's a snap.
Seeger now in the shotgun. Looks left, looking to Calhoun. He's got him. Calhoun catches it. About a 4-yard, maybe 5-yard gain. Bring up second down, but that clock is moving. Inside 4 minutes to go, 28-7. Bartram Trail leads it by 3 scores.
Yeah, keeping them in bounds. And about every 3 plays, Bartram's rotating another group of D linemen in the game. About every 3 plays, trying to keep their guys fresh. They got a couple young guys in the secondary playing. We've had a couple guys cramp up.
Trips to the right. Seeger gets a snap on 2nd and 5. Spins it out to the right. It's Calhoun again, who hits the deck quickly. Probably just short of the first down. I think we'll bring up a 3rd and short for Creekside. Now they're going to say they got the first down.
He's going to be tired tomorrow.
Yes,
Calhoun.
he will.
He's definitely
played 2 really good football games in a row. They're going to be really happy with him at East Carolina.
Yeah, really good play. They like to use the tight end in the H-back role, so good stuff there. Really good player. Really good player.
3:20 and counting in the football game, 28-7. Creekside now has it. First down and 10. They look left, throw it up for grabs. McGuff for Goodrich over there. I think it's McGuff. And the ball falls incomplete, working against another cramping defensive back for Bartram Trail. Who's down over there?
Is that Ehlers on that side?
Evan Ehlers he's played a really good game. I mean, Trevez Johnson continues to not even be in the game at times. He's going back in right now. And they just have to keep shuffling guys because of some of the cramping going on in the secondary.
Right.
And somebody forgot to give the somebody got to put the Gatorades or whatever out there.
Got to get Bobby Boucher,
secondary.
man. Got to get hydrated. My mama said.
Secondary room didn't have enough, I guess.
No, those guys, man, those skill guys, you could talk to them and they were blue in the face about hydrating, man. They think they can run around all day.
Now, in fairness to them, they've been running around all night.
Have been.
They got to cover a lot of ground.
It's crazy, real crazy.
Yeah, so it was Ehlers. Ehlers, by the way, had a really nice game. A couple different key moments in this game, but one comes to mind early on, the first couple of minutes. He recovered the fumble that led to the second touchdown in the first 2 minutes of the football game. That gave Bartram Trail a big cushion at the outset of this one between Bartram Trail and Creekside tonight. Our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's, also Baker Sports, and Lusab Honda of the Avenues. Glad to bring this to you each and every week, usually on Fridays. Tonight a Saturday one because of Hurricane Dorian forcing the schedule shift all across Northeast Florida. 3:10 to go, 2nd down and 10 for Creekside. Seeger back to pass, launches it up in the air and throws a bit behind Goodrich that time. The ball knocked down, and it brings up 3rd and down.
Yeah, third and 10. They're just trying to work their stuff, try to get a play in there. The DBs at Bartram doing a really nice job, though. Really nice job.
3rd down and 10 from the 17. The last drive stalled at the 18. I mean, again, you're going to look back on this game, and I probably sound like a broken record here, but if you're Sean McIntyre, you look back like, wow, we were going in a couple times. We turned it over. We turned it over deep in our own end. We had it down the 18, now the 17. Seeger takes the snap. Looks left, throws it to Calhoun, who just snags that ball down by the 7 or 6 yard line. It might be good for a first down. Oh, Calhoun, he's got some good hands.
Yeah, he's got really good hands. Thing about it is it's been like the 3rd down play. They go to him on the 3rd down play, but it's 4th and short. So, and again, Bartram in no hurry. They're not stopping the clock.
2:42 and counting to go. Call it 4th and 1. So Creekside has to pick up a first down. Strope in the backfield with Seeger. And I think Bartram Trail may have called a timeout. Yes, they did.
Yes,
so they used their first timeout. Creekside doesn't have any left, according to the scoreboard. 2:37 to go, 28-7 our score. 4th and 1 for Creekside down inside the 10-yard line as they're trying to make a miraculous comeback, but they might run out of time in their bid. Just a reminder, you'll see highlights tonight from the game, and we've had plenty of them on Action Sports Jacks Primetime. 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Hope you can check it out. And you can also re-watch this broadcast if you're just catching us on the radio side or on ESPN690.com, we do want to make you aware that you can see the video and some of the great plays from tonight. Marcel Robinson running the camera and doing a nice job. And you can see that on YouTube, our Action Sports Jacks channel, on Facebook, ESPN690 or Action Sports Jacks, and also on my Twitter feed at Brent A.S. Jacks. So plenty of places to get the video and the audio of our game of the week, much like we do Monday through Friday on our Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 show. Austin Lane and myself, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. Hope you can check it out if you haven't had a chance to yet. Every day, and we'll be talking about a lot of football come Monday with the Jags playing tomorrow. 2:37 to go, 4th and 1, so Creekside just trying to keep it alive here on this Saturday night in the fourth quarter. The handoff to Hines. Hines has a hole down to the goal line, almost scores it. Do they give it to him?
No, he's short, right on the 1.
All right, he's short, but he picked up the first down, most importantly, and Hines picks up 6, and it'll be 1st and goal from about the 1 for Creekside.
Yeah, I look for him to run pretty much close to the same formation, a little short yardage formation. 3 backs in the backfield. Calhoun, the lead blocker, run the same play.
Now there's a snap. They give it to Hines, and he pushes across the goal line. Nice tough run as he reached the ball across before going down to his knees. And Hines scores, and it gets Creekside on the board with another 6. 28-13 now with 2:22 to go in the football game.
Yeah, it looks like Hines cramped up once he got in the end zone. He hasn't moved since he got in there. Yes, sir. If you're going to cramp in the end zone right there. But, again, we got to get the hands team ready, right? Practice hands team every Thursday. You put your best athletes up on the front line of the kickoff return and get 9 guys up in the front 5 and kick it and see what happens. You got to field it. Most important thing, we should get hands team for the Bartram guys, and we're looking for the onside kick from Creekside coming out of this one.
First, the extra point attempt. Darek Jati about to attempt the extra point. I've been impressed with both kickers for the most part tonight. Extra points and kickoffs. Andrew Darek Jati waits the snap.
Yeah.
As they get us back to action. Here's the snap. And the hold, it's a good one. Darek Jati's kick is up, and it is good. So kickers are perfect on extra points tonight. We've got a 28-14 game as Bartram Trail leads it by 2 touchdowns with 2:22 to go here at Bartram Trail High School. Creekside against Bartram Trail in a crosstown rivalry. These two schools just about 3.5 miles apart in St. Johns County.
Yeah, again, it's a big rivalry. Again, we talk about these kids all know each other. They play with each other growing up and everything. So, it's been, Creekside's going to look at the film, like you said earlier, and they're going to be like, man, we actually played with these guys. First year they played, it wasn't close. Last year was 31-21, a little closer game, but probably this game has probably been the closest of all 3 years that Coach McIntyre's been at Creekside and Coach Southern. They played each other for the 3rd time. But again, closing the level and the score right here. But again, 2:22 left, 28-14. Creekside going to do the onside kick.
We'll see what happens in just a moment. By the way, how about Bartram Trail? They played the lead. They beat them. At Brunswick, they beat them. Tough Brunswick team, too, up there in Georgia last week. And then they are going to hold on most likely to beat Creekside. Next week they get the state champs Mandarin here at Bartram Trail. Then they go to St. Augustine at Ponte Vedra. They've got Nice and Oakleaf, Sandalwood, and Rains ahead. You'll love that district, huh?
Yeah.
8A, what a monster district it is. Bartram Trail, one of the best. They'll prove it with that kind of schedule. So here we go, 2:22 to go. We expect an onside kick from Darek Jati, and he is lined up for it. Going left to right, and here it is. The kick is away. A nice bounce, but a great job from the hands team. That's Preston Dotson, the wide receiver. That was a tough hop, and he was able to snag that.
Yeah, he did a good job, kept his body in front. They changed that rule where you can't drill those guys. You used to be able to run them down and be able to drill those guys when they don't let you do that anymore, which is a good rule. But real good job by Dotson making the play, catching that ball.
That's like a middle infielder right there with those hands. That was a really nice play. That's on the short hop.
On the hands team, your second to the end guy is the guy you want to be one of your best guys, because that's where it always ends up, between the hash and the numbers, because you don't want to kick it out of bounds too far.
Well, Bartram Trail can more or less run out the clock. If the scoreboard's right, no timeouts on the board for the Knights. Well, I'm trying to think back. Have they used 3 timeouts in this game?
Yeah, they did.
We had the one.
Yeah, they used their
one we thought was a water break.
Right.
Oh, here we go. From midfield. 1st and 10. Dotson in the game. He gives it to Jones. Jones
stay in
goes
bounds.
Out of bounds. Actually, they'll roll the clock. They'll keep him in bounds. I thought he went out of bounds after a gain of 2.
Yeah, now that'll make a coach trying to run the clock out and have the back go out of bounds. You got to go down on that.
Brian McKnight with the stop for Creekside.
He's had a nice game.
He's had a
too,
really
Brian.
nice game.
Very
point
nice
out a lot of defensive players on both sides of the ball have done a really nice job today. We thought this would be a shootout.
Yeah.
28-14 with a couple of special teams touchdowns. Not really a shootout.
No,
although we've
not at
seen
all.
a lot of big plays along the way.
Yep, and it's but again, both teams came to play, and I think both will take away some positive, some negative. Short week being productive, Bartram Trail, but Creekside I think will come away with a lot more out of this game.
So inside the 48-yard line of Creekside, Dotson has it up the middle, and he's got a seam. He's down to the 25, the 20. Will he be caught? Yes, he will. Right at the end, inside the 20-yard line, Dotson found a seam. One of the few big plays, one of the few times Bartram Trail's had breathing room in the run game, and there it is, the exclamation point on another win for Bartram Trail in this series against Creekside.
Yeah, they can just take the knee now and run it out right now. They don't even have to take run another play. And that's probably the only positive big play of the second half was that quarterback run right there. So it looks like they're in victory formation, the greatest formation in football.
How often do you practice this?
We do it every Thursday as we in practice.
Well, there it is, the snap and no worries. So probably have to do that one more time.
Yeah, probably they'll let it run down and then they'll take a knee on it. But again, some real positive things. Seen two really good tight ends in this game, really good wideouts. Quarterbacks have played really well at times, and just been a good clean football game.
Well, Creekside will fall to 2-1. Bartram Trail goes to 3-0 on the year, stays undefeated. Creekside gets First Coast next week, and then plays Bowles, Fleming Island, Atlantic Coast, Fletcher, Buchholz, and Ponte Vedra. Coach Sean McIntyre said it's probably the most challenging schedule in Creekside football history.
Right.
And there
That'll
it
do
is,
it.
the last snap, the last knee, and that's the football game. What a game it was here. It was a lot of fun. Maybe not as much drama as one would hope, but big plays. Turnovers were the story. Special teams the story at the beginning and in the fourth quarter. And Bartram Trail comes away with the bigger plays in special teams and in the turnover margin. As the clock strikes 0, 28-14, Bartram Trail gets it done over the crosstown rival. Both teams shake hands, and they'll get ready for next week. I'm glad they played this football game. You didn't have to. Hurricane Dorian forced no school, no practice. They got one day of practice in. They play on a Saturday night, and it was entertaining, Coach.
Yeah, very good game. Again, a couple turnovers, the difference. Special teams, the difference, like it usually is in big games. Creekside don't need to hang their head. They played with them. Again, they turned it over 3 times inside their own 15, and then they gave up 2 touchdowns on special teams.
All right, let's come back, put a bow on it, and get everybody set for the next week ahead in high school football. Bartram Trail wins it 28-14 over Creekside on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Our post-game show and drive of the night coming up next.
Will Stan Van Gundy dance at an Elton John concert? Is that something that's ever happened? Is it something that ever would happen?
No. The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker's Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker's Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker's Sports.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at hondaoftheavenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Hey, welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Thanks for hanging with us on a Saturday night. Usually you can catch our Game of the Week on Friday nights, and that will resume next Friday. Hurricane Dorian forcing a schedule change across Northeast Florida, really the state of Florida, even into Georgia and the Carolinas. But we're fortunate enough to get this football game in tonight. Crosstown rivalry in St. Johns County. Bartram Trail wins it 28-14 over Creekside. A pretty well-played game, entertaining game. And at the end, Bartram Trail comes away with a win. They are now 3-0 in the season. Creekside falls to 2-1 on the year. Time to check out our drive of the game, brought to you by Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues. Drive of the game, Coach. You go back. It was 14-0. Not much doing on the scoreboard after the first 2 minutes of this football game for Bartram Trail. And then late in the half, they got the ball back with about 4 minutes to go, and they convert on a 46-yard play from Dotson to Mayer, the tight end. And then on 3rd and 13, they do the same thing inside to the 10. And then Weatherly dances in on 3rd and goal on the right sideline to make it a 21-zip lead at halftime. That is our drive of the game.
Yeah, really, that was a really good drive. Put them up 21-0, and they hadn't done a lot. They've done decently offensively, but that was a big drive for them to stick it in and get points right then and there and go up 21-0.
And that was one that made it 21-zip going into the half. In the end, it's 28-14, even though Creekside stole some momentum there for a bit in the second half. 2 big special teams plays. One to start this game, the opening kick. A.J. Jones runs back 90 yards to get him off to a 7-0 start for the Bears 13 seconds in. And then the capper in the fourth quarter, it was Ralph Hamilton, who's the punter for Bartram Trail, also plays special teams. When the other team decides to punt, well, he blocked the kick for Creekside, recovers it, goes into the end zone. That made it 28-7 and put the game away. By the way, the drive of the game, once again brought to you by Lou Saab, Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. We take one more time out here on the Postgame Show, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Bartram Trail wins it down in St. Johns County, 28-14 over the Creekside Knights.
It got me thinking back to my days covering the Giants camp. I remember talking about how hard it was, mostly if it went against the rules, because Strahan and some other players would challenge Coughlin on it.
Do you remember those days, though, where teams would get punished?
Action Sports Jacks, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues is the Honda Giant with close to 700 new Hondas and quality pre-owned vehicles and award-winning service department. Jacksonville's car buyers have options, and they want your car shopping experience to be fast, fun, and hassle-free. That's what you'll get on every visit, every time. Put Honda of the Avenues to the test and let them show you a fresh new approach to car shopping at Honda of the Avenues, online at HondaoftheAvenues.com. The Honda Giant.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Hey, welcome back to St. Johns County. Bartram Trail High School, fantastic host tonight. We appreciate their hospitality for our Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brett Martineau, Kevin Sullivan. Let's put a bow on this thing, Coach. Really a good game down here, and now we see what happens with both these teams. Creekside continues to build that program under Sean McIntyre, who was our Baker's Sports Coach of the Week a week ago. And meanwhile, Darryl Sutherland has this thing just rocking and rolling. But a tough schedule ahead in that fantastic and difficult district. And they get the state champs, Mandarin, coming up.
Yeah, they're both of these guys scheduled. Coach McIntyre at Creekside up their schedule a little bit this year in this cycle because he's been into year 3, getting ready to go to year 4. And then Bartram's always played the good people. They play him year in, week out. That Coach Sutherland doesn't care. He'd rather play the good people and lose. than play not so very good people and win. So again, as you build a program and you know both these guys, so real exciting for both programs. And wish them luck the rest of the way down.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage from our game of the week. We do want to remind you, though, you can see some television highlights tonight on Action Sports Jax Primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Plus, a special reminder, tomorrow we have Jags coverage all day long on TV on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Make sure you listen to our show Monday through Friday here on ESPN 690, Action Sports Jax with Austin Lane, the entire Action Sports Jax crew, and myself. And one more mention from Hurricane Dorian, Convoy of Care, Action News Jackson Cox Media Group, Tuesday from 7 a.m. until 2 p.m. at St. John's Town Center, right near Maggiano's. We will collect supplies for the folks in the Bahamas who continue to be on everyone's mind. We're fortunate it wasn't a big hit around here. We were allowed to play a football game here tonight in St. Johns County, and it was a good one. For Marcel Robinson on the camera, Kevin Sullivan, out. And also our spotters, Colin, Ty, and Kaylee. And Koo's back in the studio for coming in on a Saturday night. I'm Brent Martineau. Bartram Trail gets it done, 28-14 over Creekside in our game of the week here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good rest of the night. Stanford and USC coming up on ESPN 690.
That's the crossroads.
So then
Correct.
you would have Jerry Jones basically saying we're not paying market value for what this guy would be worth.
He's already